Oh, we're back. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that technical malfunction we had, Pete. Would you call it a glitch or a Grinch, or what would you call that?
I would call it a glitch.
A glitch.
He wants to call me the Grinch.
Brian's the Grinch. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We were recapping, Pete, the first segment of the show, Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Some interesting things from you at home to Florida to Grand Cayman to North Jersey and Gettysburg, everything in between. Very, very interesting Thanksgiving.
I gotta say, I was a little pissed at Becky
You were?
over Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because I called her and we were playing phone tag, and I finally got her, and I hear heavy wind in the phone, and I'm like, I'm like, wow, she's probably out, out of the office trying to handle some things, and she had to take the call outdoors.
Right.
And then she tells me she's at Grand Cayman. I didn't realize. I was like, this is unacceptable.
It's
behavior.
unacceptable. Especially on Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Thanks for hanging with us. We are going to get to the meat of the show right now. And this show, we're going to be talking grassroots fishing. We're going to be talking club fishing. And I know you're proud of it. I'm proud of being from a club here in New Jersey. I think my start, really, if I pinpoint it, is because I joined a club in New Jersey. And we've got with us, Pete. I'm happy to have these guys in here. In my opinion, for sure, the biggest club, most organized, successful club in New Jersey. But I might go one step further and say on the Northeast, and all of the Northeast, one of the biggest clubs around. We've got 3 guys, amazing guys from Five Alive Bassmasters, join us tonight on the casting couch. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Can we go? I know we're one mic short, but let's go and let everybody know who you are. Let's start over here. Dave?
Tim Daffick.
Tim?
Tom Fariello.
Tom, it's good to have you guys in the house tonight. I want to start from the beginning. We've told the Top Rod story a lot of times, but I want to hear it from you. How did this Five Alive start? How did this club start? Was it a single thought by one of you guys? Was it something you guys came into? Where was the beginning of this club?
Well, Dave was the founder of the club. Before I was even in it, they started as another club, and things weren't kind of exactly what he envisioned.
Right.
And he took off and launched Five Alive. It was 2003. It's 2003. When I joined the club in 2005, when I came into the club, there was not a single glass boat in the club. It was like you guys started out,
Small boat.
crawdads, small lakes.
Yeah.
And I think he was also the one that started when we got into glass boats. He bought a glass boat, and the next boy would go to the glass boat, and another, and another, and another.
Yeah.
And it just kind of snowballed, and we've kind of grown year by year by year. The last couple of years, we used to do a cool thing, like when we sat down and make our schedule every year, the whole club would sit down and make a schedule, and we'd go through every lake in New Jersey. Can we go here? Can we go there? But now we got to the point, we got 70-plus members. We got 45 guys showing up at every tournament.
Yeah.
And now it's like, where can we go? Because we're in New Jersey. We're limited.
Yeah.
So we rely on the Manasquan Reservoir and going to the Delaware River and the places that can sustain us and where we can launch a bigger tournament.
Dude, that's crazy. 70 guys. I mean, I can say Top Rod Bassmasters in the beginning, very humbling beginning with 6 guys, Pete.
Yep.
Take us back to Garden State Bassmasters.
We were a bigger club.
Okay.
Not that we weren't that big, but I bet you we were probably 30 to 50 members.
Okay, that's good. That's strong.
It was a really big club, and it seemed like the clubs, because of the way that the federation scores points and allows people to participate in the divisional tournament, a lot of clubs were like Top Rod, where they were 6-man clubs.
Right,
where everybody in the club would qualify for the state championship tournament. And clubs like ours and yours, some guys kind of broke away from those because you had to beat 60 other guys,
exactly,
to get on your state team. But I loved being part of a big club. You know, I mean, the social component of it was amazing. I learned so much, and it was awesome. But here, what's happening in the club? Like, we had the federation got fractured. A lot of the clubs started to dissipate.
Yes. Yeah.
And you guys are doing so good. I'm so excited to see what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah, we are at a time now where instead of making something big, guys are just breaking apart and starting their own instead of just trying to build things up. And that's what we put a lot of thought. Our core guys, Dave, our tournament directors, Rich McCrone guys, we're constantly talking about what we could do to better ourselves, what we could do to make it bigger and to be the best. And that's what we strive to do. We created a lot of things where, because we would see guys in the beginning of the year, 30 guys would start out in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, 12 were showing up. And, so now we created the Classic, and making the Classic is a big thing. Just like, that was your main event all the time, getting to the Classic. That's our main event. When you sign up for 5 Live Bassmasters, you want to make our Classic. So now you got guys the entire year trying to strive to make that event. And this last year, what we did was, even that, you'd get 3/4 through the way, and guys would be like, I'm eliminated, and they would stop showing up. So now we created a wild card event, which is anyone that showed up all year, they get a last chance to get into it now. So we created another avenue
keep motivated.
to keep guys motivated all year, because by the end of the summer, you want to go on family vacation, you want to do this, so you got to do that, and guys kind of fall out and they stop showing up.
Yeah.
So
I tell you, Pete, I want to talk a little bit. I think what I want to talk about is a club level, grassroots level serves so many functions for so many different people. I want to hear from you first. Why did you join a club? Right? You were a young man. What were you looking for out of joining your first club?
Well, when I joined the club, I had really no aspirations of being pro at the time. I just was discovering the sport.
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of like-minded people.
Yeah.
Where I could just go fishing, I could learn from them, and do that kind of stuff. But as I became part of the club, I thought it was amazing how we did things like we did youth activities, we did things for the community, we did cleanups, and it made you feel good. I mean, you're part of something. You're doing something, taking care of this natural resource that we love so much. So as I became more active in the club, it was a lot more than just fishing for me.
Right.
As I expanded. How about you guys? Are you do you involve yourself with other projects other than tournaments, or what are you guys doing?
Not so much really, as far as like we haven't really dove into charity events and everything else, because we do get involved with doing them and fishing them, but we haven't really gotten too much into running our own events. We have over the years, like we had some members that passed away and stuff, so we did stuff geared to that, and we kicked into their charities and stuff that was set up that way. So we did charity opens and stuff like that, but we haven't gone as far as doing derbies and stuff like that. We haven't gone that way yet.
Well, I think it's key. I know, I think it's real important. We hired or brought on, because we don't have that much money yet, the a environmental director for Bass University. And, I just think it's important for all of us as anglers to be participants in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So with a club of your size, man, you could have monster impact.
Yes.
Where are you guys located at?
We meet out of in Millstone, right, Jackson Millstone area.
South Jersey.
Yeah, Central really. Yeah.
Central.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty much dead center city. So we get guys pretty much across the whole state, Joan. And we got guys coming from North Jersey, guys from way down in South Jersey. We got we've kind of brought guys in from all over the place, and our schedule kind of now isn't just dialed into Central Jersey because there's really nowhere to fish there. So we kind of got a little bit of everything now.
Yeah.
Right.
Got to travel a little bit.
Are you guys affiliated with Bass?
We are affiliated with Bass, yeah. So
okay.
We're the Bass Nation. So a handful of our guys. Luke Schrader from our club just came back from fishing nationals with Bass. So we've had several guys from our club advance and fish nationals and be within a fish of getting through to the Classic. So we've had a lot of guys in our club be successful at not only Bass but a lot of bigger level tournaments as well.
We have one of those guys in this room that did that too.
Bill Taylor?
How did you qualify for your national? How did that go?
Yeah, so we fished for Top Rod Bassmasters, and we were affiliated with the Bass Federation, which is the Bass Nation now. And then Brian Carpenter, maybe I'll call him to the plate. I think we were Federation affiliated for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then something happened, and we got to the point where we just said, screw it. We're not going to keep paying, bass to, because at the time we all had crawdads, right? So it was like, it was sort of a different thing. Mm-hmm. And then I had to join another club that was Federation affiliated to be able to still have that like access to the the tournaments,
The
and
qualification
stuff, the
process.
qualifications. So I joined a club that was right down the road here called Excalibur Bassmasters. I don't know if you remember.
Vaguely remember
Yeah,
them,
Excalibur Bassmasters. So I was moonlighting at Excalibur Bassmasters and still fishing top rod at the same time. It's kind of complicated, you know. But I was mentioning the club level serving different purposes, and for me, and I want to call Brian and Dave to the plate on this too. For me, the club level served to learn stuff that I couldn't learn at the time.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember that was a different time. You talk about the 90s, right? Early 90s through mid 90s. There was no internet, you know. There was VHS cassettes. The shows on TV sucked.
Reading Bassmasters cover to cover.
Yeah, and so, you know, like a learning curve felt like I felt like I hit a wall. And the club for us was an outlet to be able to learn from each other, you know, and a big thing for us was Top Rod was built on that, right? So we'd have 2 events a month, and then at the next meeting, we would discuss how the guys caught them. You always had a few guys sort of holding back, but for the most part, you got to say, you know, look, we were on Wilson Lake, and here's what I did. What did you do? Here's what this guy did. The guy that won did this. The guy that came in second, maybe he ran up the creek. The one guy fished down, and you got to see patterns develop, and you got to see things that you didn't do that worked. And, you know, the other thing was it was a training ground, right? It was a training ground because the tournaments that you hold, and by the way, I fished a lot of your guys' events over the years. I love fishing your events. It's a mini version of what you do at the highest level of competition, right? So it's not a big difference, man, whether you're fishing the Bassmaster Classic or a Five Alive event at Mirror Lake. It's the same, right? You know, you there's a weigh-in time. There's culling. You're only allowed 5 fish at a time. You have to make decisions. I mean, all that stuff for me, those early years
Training
of club
ground.
fishing was training ground for me. So important. When I look back on it, you know, it's like if you take that away, everything else falls apart, you know? It was so important in the beginning.
Definitely for me, it was
No,
that way.
no, look at the back. Look at the back. Look at all the concerned faces.
I know. Are we're broadcasting to 5 people now on IkeLive.com.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. And I think we're on Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah, you should probably share it through your Facebook. I don't think you ever did that tonight.
I did it.
Oh, did you?
Well,
I wanted to get you guys in conversation, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Yeah, why don't you give us a minute?
well, you guys are so big, a 70-man club. Because when I remember a big difference for me because I went from Garden State Bassmasters, which was big, 30 to 50 guys year to year, and then I went over to Clearwater Bassmasters with Schneiderite.
Yeah.
And that was a 6-man club, right? And I remember the 30-man club. It was tough to get the goods sometimes, you know. Guys would keep secrets. They wouldn't want to. Wouldn't want to share as much. How is your club with that? You got that too?
Guys
or
are definitely always trying to figure out what you're doing, but for the most part, guys are pretty open. Some guys obviously are more open about things than others, but you know, the guys that are new and are just joining, they think there's all these big secrets, but especially New Jersey fishing, you know, Tommy throws the same worm every time he goes fishing. It's like you think it's a secret, but he comes out and he wins tournament after tournament.
Can we know,
what
can we
worm
know
is
the
that?
name of that
Yeah.
worm? Yeah, that's what I wanna
it
know.
is a Berkeley worm. So.
It is a Berkeley worm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Berkeley Power Worm, 4-inch curltail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Motor oil.
Old school. one.
Motor oil and blue flag.
Damn.
What's that, like the ringworm?
No, just
It's
a
regular
regular
4-inch power worm as a curl tail on the bottom.
No.
He took
Drop
Brian.
shot.
He took Brian to school at the reservoir on it.
Wow.
No doubt. No doubt.
Crazy. Old school. Brad, do you want to say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Include me in the conversation you wanted to include me in earlier. But
I
couldn't
forget
get
already,
included
so.
All right, cool. I'm just trying to catch up. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, for whatever reason, the Wirecast just suddenly crashed, and we're just trying to get the streams back up to all the different sites. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Pretty sure we're on YouTube, but not on the website.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Nice.
yeah, so club fishing's cool.
Cool.
Computers suck.
Should we use Dixie cups with a string?
It might be effective.
So did we talk about the early days of Top Rod and our mindset behind starting a club? Did we get into all that? All right. I'm going to get a beer.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I will tell you. when I made the change over to the 6-man club, and I fished with a guy named Rich Schneider. You guys know Rich?
Yeah.
Richie.
Rich is a killer. I mean, he's won I don't know how many Federation tournaments, probably 30 or 40 or more. You know, he's made.
Yeah, I fished with him.
He's been to the national a couple times, and I was, this is what happened to me. I joined Garden State Bassmasters. The president of Garden State. We were fishing a derby on the river.
What was that guy's name?
Bob. Bob. I'm going to say it in a second. He's no longer with us. But I drew out him. He's the president of our club at the time, and he asked me what I'm studying in school, and I'm like, I'm studying, engineering, environmental engineering.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Maybe. But his name. I'm gonna get it before the end of the show. But anyway, he said, Richie Schneiderite is in the environmental field. So here I am in college, maybe a sophomore, or junior, and president of my club goes out of his way to go over to Schneiderite and say, introduce me to him.
Yeah.
And I wound up getting a summertime job with Rich.
Wow.
Which was huge for me because I was broke in college. I couldn't afford crankbaits. And now I'm fishing with, arguably the best amateur angler in the state or the Northeast.
For sure, one of them. Yeah.
And working with him, talking fishing, and then he wound up inviting me to join his club, and I spent about 4 or 5 years as a non-boater in college, and then once I graduated, fishing out of the back of Rich's boat. And you want to talk about a learning experience because I was a co-angler or non-boater, we used to call them back then, and we would go out, and it's the most amazing thing, we would go out at practice and catch nothing. I mean, no fish, and Rich would win the tournament. And
how?
I'm like, how? Yeah. How is that possible?
Yeah, how's that possible?
And what? Then we would drive home from the tournament, and he would tell me exactly how it transpired, how he used that practice of catching nothing.
Yeah. To eliminate,
to develop a pattern.
Yeah.
And then once he got a piece of information during the tournament, he was able to turn that into a win. And I learned, the developing pattern strategy. Rich is doing this all along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was monumental because I was a pretty good angler. If you put me in the club, like I have the Mr. Bass jacket, so I won it one year.
Yeah.
So I was pretty good. If somebody could get me around the fish, I could catch them pretty good. You know, but I really didn't know how to find them, and even take a shot at winning a federation event. Which at the time, our federation events were drawing 100 boats.
Dude, they're drawing a lot of boats until the split, until FLW and Bass separated. Dude, they were big draw tournaments.
Huge.
Man.
And you'd have powerhouses like, remember Tim Roach, Mark Schaefer, all qualified for the Bassmasters top level. We had
Eddie Cowan,
our Soley,
Bob
Soley, all guys made classics. They were all fishing the. It was tough to win. And here Rich was going out amongst that group and winning.
Yeah.
And it became tangible for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after that I got my boat, and then I was able to win on the federation level, and that's how I made it to the pros. That's how I got the confidence. And it all happened through the clubs, through the relationships.
Yeah.
I owe all that stuff to the federation.
Can I ask you a question? So, what was the jerk-off's name that took the keys out of the ignition of my boat on the Delaware River when I was running back in the weigh-in?
What
was that jerk-off's name?
I object to your premise of the question.
He fished for that club that you fished for.
Yeah.
He fished for Garden State?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that guy was a jerk-off.
He's a strong personality.
Oh, my God. Bushevitz.
Tom Shribbich.
Tom Bushevitz. If you're still alive, you're a jerk-off.
Hey, Tom.
Whoa, what just happened?
Hey,
Should I cut the feed?
No, he pulled the keys out of my ignition running back.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He's a jerk off.
well, Tom's a strong, great fisherman. I fished out of the back of his boat in buddy tournaments for about 2 years.
Yeah.
I learned a tremendous amount from Tom. Tom was he fished. He was like the guy that taught me how to fish shallow and how not to be like it wasn't as the things that I thought were important wasn't as important because you know that guy. He's like a train wreck, man. He makes so much noise moving around and just you know he would pull into the shallow docks on Lake Apacon and put the trolling motor down. Everything was in the mud. The motors would drag as the boat would stop. He'd stomp up there making all this racket and skip a bait in like 2 inches of water and pull 4-pounder out from under a dock. Just that nobody would go shallow enough or even think that there could be any fish in that mud hole. So, you know, he was a really good angler. And, you know, you and him didn't see eye to eye.
No. I remember it's like it was yesterday, man. You know?
I don't know if I talked to him about this story, but I'm sure he has a perspective on it.
I'm sure he does.
What is your perspective?
My perspective, he was old grumpy fuck, you know?
And aside from that.
Well, I mean, when you know, you got to remember back in those days, there were events where you had to flip. And for whatever reason, in that event, he was a boater, but he got drawn with me. And I don't remember why that happened. But he was stuck on with me. And, you know, I was on fish. I had enough fish in that tournament.
That was Delaware River.
It was Delaware River, and I actually caught him out of Woodbury Creek way back then, and all these years later, it's still producing. But I had enough fish in that tournament to either win or come in first or second. I can't remember. And because of you know all that happened, he made us late.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bumped all the way down to I still ended up in the top 10 or something because it was such a tough tournament, you know. But it was crushing, you know. It was crushing at the time. That because of really it was jealousy that he was doing that. You know what I mean? Fuck, I've been outfished too in the back of the boat. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the guy's keys out on the drive back because of it. You know what I mean? So
I remember you telling me that story.
Oh yeah, the guy was the worst.
Yeah, I remember. That was that was a long time ago. I remember that.
It was horrific, man.
So,
it was horrific.
Shout out to what's his name?
Shout out to Tom Tribich.
For Rich. Yeah.
All right.
I think he was objecting to the way the boat was being operated.
Well,
that's
then he shouldn't have been. He
He
shouldn't be out bass fishing. He should take up golf. You old fuck.
go get a canoe. So, hey, Mike, we got a good IM question for the Five Alive guys. So, you guys all know, and I'm speaking to the Five Alive guys, the bass ranks in small clubs, the numbers are struggling. Mike wants to know, how do you guys, in an environment where everyone else is dying off, how do you guys thrive? What do you attribute that to?
Great
Good
question.
We kind of dove into it a little bit already before, but I mean, it starts with a great core group of guys. When Dave started his club in 2003, we still have like the core like 10, 15 guys that have been there the whole way. They're there every year. They're a staple at every event. They never miss an event. But on top of that, I mean, we've seen, like you talked about, a 30-man club. And we've seen a lot of other clubs grow, and they get to that point where they got 25, 30 clubs. And then everybody wants to go, hey, let's go to Champlain, and hey, we'll go here, and hey, let's go there. And they kind of box themselves out because you not everybody can make that leap financially.
Right.
And over the past, I mean, we're kind of at that point now. We almost have no choice but to go to the bigger waters. But, you know, as president for the last like 5 years, I've been real nervous about making that transition as slow as possible because I've seen other clubs, they were thriving, they were running, and all of a sudden when they made that leap, there was 8 guys at their events. And we wanted to keep the core guys in it every year. And, you know, we built up a format. We built up our classic. We offer a $10,000 classic for our
That's
for
great.
our
That's
club.
incredible.
That's just unheard of.
And
That's incredible.
It is 0 entry fee, and it's built up
That's
over
more
the
money
years.
than you win at a Bass Open. Pretty sure, isn't it?
Pretty much.
You got to be top 3 to get that.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and that's a no entry fee event. So we got
crazy.
guys, and every guy. So there was 12 guys. Our top 12 make it, and a 13th from the wild card. Every guy goes home with a check, and you're not paying to fish it.
Right.
So you know that's the big event where we really try to get guys in, and get them pumped up to fish that, get them pumped up to make it.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, that's everyone's goal to make it, and we really get guys into it. But we got a really great core group of guys that just love fishing. I mean, when we don't have a club event, we go fishing. Every Saturday and Sunday, we're looking to go fish an event. Whether just like you're jumping in at a local winter league, we're always looking to do the same thing. We're just always trying to get out there and fish.
Yep.
Hey, Tim, I have a question.
Yep.
Is there a mandatory amount of events your guys have to fish in order to be eligible to fish the Classic?
Not to fish the Classic. You could make it as long as you got enough points to qualify. You could make it. To be wild card eligible, you got to fish 10 out of 13. But that is a good question you asked, because a lot of other clubs they make things mandatory. They make meetings mandatory. They make this mandatory, and we make it as easy as possible to be a member of our club. You pay the dues, you're in the club. We have guys every year. They'll give us a check, they'll join the club, and we'll never see them again.
Right.
And there'll be like 4 or 5 of them every year.
Member of the year right there.
Yeah, and then they'll come back, But there is no. You don't have to ever come to a meeting. You don't have to ever come to an event. You do as little or as much as you want. And we've been getting. You touched on 6-man clubs, and I've been getting a lot of phone calls recently. To get in a 6-man club now, it's like $75 just to join. So our dues are $135. For that extra $60, now you can fish. Even if you want to fish 2 of our events, the payout's great. We got 45, 50 guys fishing the event. It makes all the sense in the world to join our club and not just go with a 6-man club. You still get to fish the Nation,
Right.
And the Nation doesn't. They no longer limit it to like 6 guys from a club. About 5-6 years ago, when they fished Champlain, we sent 6 teams from our club to go fish the team tournament.
Oh, no kidding.
So there is no limitation.
Yeah, see, that's a difference.
That is.
Yeah, and they kind of broke down their whole format with that too. It's all about, you can have a 2-man team, a 4-man team. They want as many guys as they can get at that event, because that's a fundraiser for them. That is paying their guys to go to the divisional and on to nationals. That's where they want as many guys as they can get at that event. So they're not going to nitpick the club down to 6 guys. They're going to let you show up with.
That's interesting, because back in the day, we cut it to 6 because it was so big.
Yeah,
and we couldn't have a 500-man tournament on Lake Pacon or the Hudson River. You know what I mean? So they had to cut it down. Now they're looking to expand, so they're doing that.
Yeah,
that's great. Do you guys have meetings?
We do. We meet once a month. They're really big early on the year. We start in January. We get a huge turnout for a sign-up meeting, and so January, February, March, we try to get vendors in. We get Bobby Erg from Mega Strike, who sponsors our club. He comes in and he sells baits at a meeting, and we try to get guys in, to promote a product, sell products to the club.
Bobby's a hustler, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's a local guy. He lives right up the street from us in Jackson. So but we get guys in the door, and mostly local guys, Jersey guys, that are starting a business, whatever. We had Riot Baits in. We've had different companies in the door, and the guys like it. They're looking to buy baits. It's wintertime, nothing's going on. So our meetings are huge the first 3 months a year. Once we hit March and April and we're fishing nonstop, they start tapering down. And then by the summer, you got weeknight tournaments, you got the beer leagues going on. Nobody's coming to a meeting on a Thursday night in the summer. It's there's just a lot, going on. But yeah, real big in a year. And the end of the year, they start picking back up, and then we do an awesome. I always say our banquet alone is worth the $135 to join. It's this Saturday night's our banquet. You guys are more than welcome to come. But
yeah, there you go, Pete. We should wear our club jackets.
Yeah, no, it's
rival colors.
It's an awesome time. You don't pay to come. It's all you could eat, all you could drink. It's a great time.
Oh, we're definitely going.
One of the guys in our club puts on him and his wife get together. They put on a giant Chinese auction, so we got all kinds of raffles going on.
Cool.
So yeah.
Hey Tim, Tim, at our very first Top Rod banquet we had, Brian was coming stag. He was coming by himself, so Mike brought him a blow-up doll and put a wedding dress on it.
That's true.
You guys remember that?
Yeah,
was that
the first
Rexy's?
one, but I remember it.
Was that Rexy's?
Yeah, it was at Rexy's.
Yeah, Rexy's.
It might have been Rexy's. Yeah.
Rexy's, man.
Yeah, I missed that book.
Tim, what's the typical format of your events that lead to your classic? Because I know you guys have a lot of small boat guys. You have just as many, I guess, big boat guys. So, what's the format? How do you do it?
Basically, we have 13 events throughout the course of the year, which a lot of people say it's a lot, but we love to fish. So it works for us.
Yeah.
I mean, the turnouts keep up all year, but we have 10 tournaments that are just single-day tournaments, and then we have 3 that are mega bucks or 2-day events. Those are like when we go away, because it doesn't make sense to go to Potomac River, fish for 1 day, and come back.
Right.
So we made those all 2-day events. The entry fee comes up a little bit, but for the most part, most of our guys we have grown into like I would say 90% of the guys now have a bigger boat. We had about 8 to 10 riders last year, and I mean, with any organization, guys come in as a rider. They either love it and they go buy a boat, or they kind of start to fizzle out. But we did have riders. We added a rider pool this year because everybody fishes in one pool. But we did add an additional rider pool. It's like a $5 optional pool just to make it interesting. You can finish 25th place in the tournament, but you could be the top rider and you win
Still
a couple
make some
bucks.
money.
So
Yeah, that's smart.
the more people that go home with an envelope, the more people, it keeps more people involved, and everybody likes to win something. So
Man, do you guys have a website?
We do. It's 5alivebassmasters.org, but I mean, like you guys say, Facebook is huge now. I mean, guys kept asking for a website, but everybody goes on Facebook. When the information's right there in front of you, it's there all the time. Every time we have an event, Dave creates an event online, posts it up, invite everybody that's ever been to one of our events.
Yeah.
We'll invite you, anybody that fishes in New Jersey or anywhere. We send out an invite to them, and you'll see what we got going on.
Dude, that's funny how times have changed, because I remember in Top Rod, like the way we'd get information out on our tournaments is literally like flyers.
Yeah.
Like we would do a flyer,
We still do that.
Yeah, we mailed them out, and then we'd all at a meeting, we'd all divvy it up. We'd be like, you take Fish and Fur, you take Don Sky's place, you take all the local little tackle stores, and we'd go there and leave. Hey man, can we leave a stack of flyers here?
Yep.
And that's how we got word out back then. You know what I mean? It was crazy. There was no internet.
I know. I remember waiting for the tournament results to come in the mail.
Wow. How about that?
You know what I mean? You'd
Wow.
fish. You knew where you finished in the tournament, but you didn't know how the points would all shake out. So you had to wait like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then you get it and you unfold it, and there'd be all the standings. And
Now it's funny. We're not even home yet, and guys are already texting you, where are the results? They're not up yet. It's like,
yeah. Oh, my God. What a difference, man.
Yeah.
You go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say, you guys are doing such a great job. They can follow you on Facebook. What was it, Top Rod Bassmasters?
Top Rod.
5 Alive Bassmasters.
Top Rod. Top Rod's still alive.
Atta boy, Pete.
We're bringing them back. We're bringing them back. But now I'm totally flustered. I can't even remember what I was going to ask. Guy clubs.
You're Pete Glusak.
Bitches.
Clubs want to know how to do what you guys are doing. They need advice. They want to build their club. Do you have any advice for clubs like that?
I mean, it's honest. There's a few. Dave, myself, even a guy Joe Blaro has been our secretary. We got 4 guys that are so voluntary to do the work, and that's where a lot of guys lack. Nobody wants to put the work, put in the time, and do what needs to be done. Email. We got guys sending out emails nonstop, reminders, keeping everybody involved all the time. And another thing, though, I think that has helped, because so many clubs, they start to grow and something happens and it creates a wedge, and these 5 guys go together and they run off. And we went through our bumps in the road like anyone else, but we try to be very proactive. If there's something that happens in a tournament, this guy, they got along with this guy, I'll literally, on my way home, make a phone call to that guy, talk to the guy about what happened, try to get to the bottom of it, try to come to a peaceful resolution. And we've had it between club guys, there's all kinds of stuff that happens on the water. Guys get upset, and trying to nip that stuff in the butt before it snowballs and before these 5 guys now are going to start their own club. That's what you want to eliminate, and that's what happens a lot now in New Jersey, and it's a shame, because even with buddy tournaments, it's so hard to get a good event, because now there's 35 clubs and everybody has a 5-boat tournament going on. Instead of getting together and having a real nice event, it's just very diluted right now.
Yeah,
sure.
Now, I speaking of bumps in the road, I'm sitting here as we're talking. I'm checking some of the social feeds, and we've got one that came from Facebook, from MK, and it's a multi-part question from MK, and the first part is, where's Mike Kaminskis? Isn't Mike Kaminskis the reason 5 Alive is around? Why isn't he on the show? And it's from MK, so I don't know.
So that's probably from Mike Kaminsky. you know Mike, right?
I know Mike. Yeah. Any response to that?
That's a good one. Tommy, you want to get that one, Tom?
2 Chains. Come on, hop on in on it.
I think he's fished about 3 tournaments.
3 tournaments.
Yeah. He shows up to the banquet.
So he's still a member.
Yes.
He
He
is
shows
still
up to the
a member.
banquet.
Yeah. He is still a
But
member.
is it true? Did he start 5 Alive? Was he
No.
the first original member?
No.
Okay. Okay. I love
Awesome.
it. There's your answer, MK. Whoever you are.
How long till MK's blackballed from Five Alive.
It's pretty hard to get blackballed, but there was a few, right, bro?
Yeah, we had a guy.
Oh, crazy! Oh, yeah, I might know that one.
Yeah.
I might know that one. He might be watching right now. I don't know what I should say or what I should. Now, I do want to take. You had the Freudian slip at Top Rod, and I do want to take credit for something right here. Dave Brodzik, I'm going to remind you of this. Top Rod was one of the first clubs back in the day to hold a big money tournament. And Brian DeCarpenter, you remember, we worked out a deal with Canham County Parks on Cooper River. I think the first year we were in the 60s. The second year we were in the high 70s. And the third year...
No.
No, this is a record. The third year...
I thought the first year we did 97 boats.
Oh, I thought it was the third year we did 98 boats. I thought it was the third year. It might have been the second year. Wasn't the first year. But 98 boats at the time for a public open tournament in South Jersey
That's huge.
was unheard of. So I'm proud of that. But I remember, dude, the bastard rigs that were showing up. Do you remember some of that? Dude, we'd get everything from 22-foot glass boats to canoes, dude, with freaking coolers in them.
And we had protesters with rubber rafts banging oars into the water.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that.
The one year, I think that was the second or third year, we had
I was
PETA
in
show
that
up.
derby, yeah.
Oh, God, it was unbelievable, man.
Hooks hurt.
Oh, yeah, hooks hurt. Hooks hurt. But we saw it all in that tournament, man. We saw
That was
it
a
all.
great event, man. Is that still being operated?
I think it is, right? Yeah, they had it.
So.
Yeah, last year they had it the same exact date as the Ike Foundation event on the telephone.
Didn't Pete win the first one, or did you win the second one?
I won one of them. I don't remember it. I don't remember. I think I might have won the one with the fish protesters.
You may have. That may have been the second
And we
year.
had a-
I think you
we
won.
We auctioned off a bass boat. Or not auctioned off, but we tagged fish.
We
And if
tagged
you caught a
fish.
tagged fish.
Yeah, we had fish tagged, and if you caught that specific number, you would actually win a fully
Did
rigged bass
anybody
boat.
ever win?
No one ever won, but we held an insurance policy.
Yeah, we had an
on it
insurance policy.
because there was the potential that somebody could actually win it.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
neat.
We just got information. Top Rod's not going to be having the corporate Cooper tournament this year.
Is that right?
I don't know. That's what the guy's just saying here.
Wow.
Mountie from Pimp.
Mountie for Pimp. Thank you for that update.
Five Alive ought to take that over. I tell you what, the date, you guys always had it in July, and it was just such a great date. It didn't conflict with anything.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was just a great event. Now, of course, I don't know, Cooper River is overrun with
money
with
talks,
scullers,
man.
and
Yeah.
there's
Money
probably
talks.
problems there that you got to run into.
Yeah.
But it was a great date, an easy event. You guys did a great job with
Yeah,
it.
it was a cool event.
It was really good.
Yeah, the Canham County Parks always used to mess with us though, because they'd either pull the plug on the dam or they'd leave it high, and it would never stay constant. You know, you'd go out there and guys would pre-practice and be like, "Holy shit, I'm dialed, dude! I'm on this deal." And then they'd get the launch the boats in the morning, the water had dropped like 3 feet, or the opposite, or it flooded. You know, and it was always. That always affected it. You know?
From the fishing perspective, not the best time to fish.
No, it's tough, but
Yeah.
that was fun too because
Yeah.
it was a challenge.
It was.
You know, it was a 7-fish limit, and you know if you caught 5, you had a chance to win.
Yeah, I
you
remember
know?
when I won it, it was flooded.
It was flooded.
It was flooded because I remember it was cranking. I was using, a wake style bait.
Yeah.
And over some flooded grass.
Yeah.
And that's we just jacked like 5 or 6 fish right away
Wow.
on that pattern. And,
How about that?
And then once the water started coming down, that all went away.
Right.
And we eked out a limit.
Yeah.
But I remember that they definitely were jacking with the water.
They always jack with the water. I never wanted to leave it alone, man. It's crazy. It was crazy. Pete, I want you to go back and give me one moment in club fishing. You remember one thing. You look back at all your years in your club days. Is there one moment or one thing that stands out as being super special for you?
Super special. Well, here's the first thing that popped into my mind. I remember because I fished trolling motor boats like Menanico Ponds, Pars.
Oh, yeah.
All these places, Elmer. That's where I fished. That's how I learned how to fish. Joined the club, and the first partner I ever drew was Billy Schultz, and he had a Skeeter with I think it was a 200, and I'm like. I was scared to death. I never man, I fastest I ever been was in a car at 50 miles an hour. You know what I mean? They're telling me this is the hottest boat on the whole club. He's gonna, he's a hot rod. I was scared to death.
Oh man!
And I remember getting in his boat. We launched at Havre de Grace Marina.
Yeah.
Down on the flats. That was the first tournament that I ever participated in a regular sized bass boat.
Yeah.
And I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm telling you, I am white knuckled. We're idling through the marina. We're coming to the edge of the no wake zone, and I'm like, oh man, I'm just scared to death. And he puts the hammer down, and I never felt that kind of power. You know what I mean? Never felt the boat move like that, and we jumped up on pad, and we got up to about 20 miles an hour, and then he backed off, and he put the trolling motor down. Never started the outboard again.
So you fish right there on the back channel or something?
No, it was a spring tournament. He went to the outside of the marina, and then we trolled back, and we fished the marina the whole day.
Yeah.
And we caught him. We caught him way back then, springtime fish.
How about that?
Yeah, I remember. Here's another. I can keep going on the wall. You know where the gas pumps are?
Yeah.
Pete Live
at Havre de Grace.
He's flipping, and I know what to do, and I saw a yellow perch. I picked a shad wrap, number 5 shad wrap and yellow perch, and I put my first 2 keepers in a club tournament in the boat
on a shad wrap
on a little number 5 perch colored shad wrap.
Wow, it's amazing. Let me turn it to you guys. Give me some iconic moments. I want to hear from all of you. Let's start with you.
Go ahead.
2 Chainz. What do we got?
I gotta say, winning the Mega Bucks. I like 2-day tournaments. 2-day tournaments are my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they're the most money, and I'm consistent. I always catch fish. I'm like a single 1-day tournament.
Yeah.
I have like 10, 12 pounds, but I can keep that and always win because most of these guys like him will
have a good day and then suck
the next day.
Right. All right. 2-day Mega Bucks events.
Do you have holes in the Mega Bucks events, like where you like the old style Mega Bucks where you? Fish?
No, you don't. You don't have. No, you don't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Best tournament memory, huh?
Best memory. It doesn't even have to be the best memory.
I bet you I know.
Something
I bet
crazy
you I know.
that happened.
When you got to penalize Brian Stockel 2 pounds a couple weeks ago.
Penalty.
That was a good one.
Late.
One of my favorite events was one of our club classics down on the flats, and it blew like crazy. I got on fish far away, and I was only on like 2-pounders, but it was enough at the time. They just weren't biting. It was 30, 40 mile an hour winds. And I had this old timer from our club, and I'm like, "You sure you want to go with me?" I was like, "It's not going to be a fun ride." And I made the run, and he's bouncing out of his seat the whole way. And I pulled in, and I caught two fish around 2 pounds right in a row. And my third fish of the day was a 7-pounder. And
oh my God!
And I was like, "All right, I just got to get 2 more fish, and we're going back in." And that's what we did. But that was one of my best memories. In
that's
the club.
crazy. What did you weigh that day?
7-pounder.
I had 17 pounds. I caught one more good one, about 5, and then I had 3
Holy
2-pounders.
smokes. Yeah.
But for the flats, that's not a big weight. But at the time, everybody was pretty much coming in with 10 pounds at best.
Right.
It was just a fall. It wasn't fishing good. The wind, the whole place was torn up.
Yeah.
And that fish caught me totally off guard. We were actually in a school. We were actually catching the 2-pounders mixed in with stripers.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. And we were catching schoolies, and every now and then I was catching them all on a perch-colored rattle trap. And every now and then I would just hook into something, and my line would just start screaming, and it would almost straighten my hooks out. But then with that bass, he was just staying down. I'm like, this is definitely a largemouth. And she came up, tried to jump. And
that's
I'll never
crazy.
forget
What time of the year was it?
This is the end of October.
Wow. Fall bite.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
You got some waypoints for us?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Pete needs the waypoints for that.
I'll tell you after.
Need a coordinate. Don't want to do it live. Give me a good memory.
Fish with my son, buddy tournaments with my son. Daffy. Give him the mic.
I'm good, man.
No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just fish with my son, buddy tournaments, and cashing for the first time. That's probably my best.
Cool. Fish with your son. That's cool. That's cool. And that's the other thing about the club too, is you get more of that family aspect oriented into it. I can remember Top Rod, Brian the Carpenter. In our days at Top Rod, we had several father and son teams that were members of the club. Kenny Huffman, Bert Huffman, 2 of the original Top Rod guys, father and son. Later on, Dave Sr., Dave Botenowitz, and Dave Jr. Botenowitz father and son. So it's cool. You know, you get that in the club level.
When you bring it up the family thing, I'm glad you brought that up. So this year, this was the first time we did it. Our club guys got pretty close. We've been doing a lot of barbecues and stuff after our tournament. So we decided to do a guy, girl, or father, son, whichever. I didn't want to put anyone on the spot, just guy, girl. So we did the first event this year. It was a guy, girl event, and we wound up having 16 teams fish the event, which is pretty good.
Cool. Yeah,
you can't even get that at a buddy tournament anymore. So we had father, son teams, husband, wives, and it was actually pretty cool. My wife never fished a tournament before. She came out fishing with me. I'm trying to control the trolling motor, and she had one leg on each side of the pedal the entire day. Didn't realize, like, that's how I'm controlling the boat. But she stood up on front of the boat in front of me the entire day. Wound up catching a couple fish. So it was cool. We did it, and then we had a big barbecue afterwards. So it was.
And you won it.
We did actually win, yeah.
Did you have her just dragging a Senko or something behind?
I taught her on a drop shot with Tommy's favorite worm, and she's held it all day. And she
Motorola Blue Fleck.
Yeah.
At it again.
Yeah. And it worked. So
I love it, man.
The whole club throws that worm now.
Yeah. Except me.
That's an interesting color,
No,
though.
you throw it.
I remember the motor oil, but you're saying motor oil blue fleck.
No, motor oil.
Either
is
or.
one,
Oh,
or the
straight
blue fleck.
motor oil
Yeah.
or blue fleck. Okay.
Yep, those are the two.
Yeah, blue fleck and camo. When I was young, were my two favorite worms ever. Blue fleck on a backong, dude, was for
Really?
years was the bomb.
No kidding.
Oh God. And then
I know the Potomac. It's famous.
it's
that
Grand
color
on
down
Potomac, and then chartreuse tail on a black worm. Brian Carpenter,
Hell yeah.
black body, char tail, little
That's
tip
it.
of chartreuse. Dave, you were trying to track them down for years. eBay, you were hunting them down. Whatever happened?
I
with all
got
that?
200 count bags from a guy from California.
You did.
Yeah.
The good ones with the translucent char tail.
The old school straight with the flat head. It was flat. Yeah, there was like a U, flat
Yes.
on the bottom with the shark. Yeah, I got
That
bags
was
of them. I got
that was
two
the
bags.
bomb.
Yeah, man.
That was the bomb because then they altered it and it was never the same. Remember the tail was like it wasn't translucent chartreuse.
Yeah, not just that. When Berkeley changed their power bait,
They did.
formula.
formula.
The original formula was right.
The formula.
Tournament strength was booty.
I remember being in a club and how baits like that just blow through the club.
Dominated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if somebody would have just picked up a little jig or something, they probably would have won everything. But the whole club gets bowled over by it. We had a guy in Garden State, and he was throwing a crankbait, and he kept it secret as long as he could until we kind of figured it out. And he called it the Kmart. And if
The
you
Kmart.
remember, Kmart used to have.
Kmart had a huge fishing section.
They used to have a big fishing section. They had their own brand crankbaits.
Yeah.
And this guy bought the little bitty square bills. I don't know, it was the 100. It turned out Bandit built them for Kmart, but it was just a Kmart brand, and he called it the Kmart. And he waxed us so bad on the Kmart crankbait.
Wow.
I mean, we wiped Kmart's out in all of South Jersey. You could not
I
find
think
that
that's where
crankbait.
I picked up the first Normans, the little
Yeah,
baby,
could
or
be.
the baby ends.
or best.
Best.
So everybody, like you said, in those early club days, had their little secrets.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Mine was the half-ounce rattleback with a full-size big claw, not tip down,
the big
big giant, Riverside big claw, man. That was my secret.
Wow. And Brian, you chime in because we were having technical difficulties, but that was a cool part of Top Rod was that learning aspect.
Yeah,
You want to talk a little bit about
yeah,
that?
that's what I was kind of hitting around at earlier. When we started Top Rod, and I think you guys said it before, there was no internet, no other way
No.
to share. So we started the club to learn, to make each other better. Our club motto was learn to be a better fisherman today. So it was the 5 or 6 or 10 of us or whatever it was. We would get out there, we'd fish, we'd have our monthly meetings, and at those meetings, the top 2 or 3 guys would talk about their day out there. And then we would all talk about, openly, discuss how we caught them, how we didn't catch them, what we did. And in that manner, we're all able to sit there and do the math. Okay, this day with those conditions, this worked,
Yeah.
this didn't, that didn't.
Start to
and
see
now
patterns
you figure out how to
develop.
learn
Yeah.
how to fish.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So in the beginning, it wasn't so much about Angler of the Year and classic. Obviously, the competitive nature starts to take over, and guys don't talk as freely. But certainly in the beginning, we were very free with information, and we were all learning together. You know, we learned how to. Mike became who he is today, and a lot of it started there, learning from me.
Yeah. No, he said that. Brian said that jokingly, but I mean, do you guys find that? Like, I honestly did pick up on what these guys did, and and learned from it. Gave it my own spin.
I remember when you won your boat on Lake Norman.
Yeah.
And you came back and you said, "Oh man, you were catching them on a finesse fish,
Finesse
and a
fish.
jig."
Yeah.
And I remember you referencing something you learned from Dave on your jig hook sets. And it was cool. It was like, you're there, you're fishing in Denny Brower's boat or Guido Hibden's boat. And here you're referencing something we're learning at the club level on rod positioning and setting the hook.
And everybody had their own little thing. Like Dave, you were honestly the first one with a jig, honestly,
Yeah.
And I can remember, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I remember being, I want to say this was even before Top Rod. I remember being 15, 16 years old and looking at a jig and being like, come on, man. Ain't a bass going to bite that thing. Get the fuck out there. No way.
Yeah.
But then, Dave was winning everything in the beginning or catching all the big ones every time on a jig. And you start to open up your eyes, and everybody had their own little thing, so it was huge. I mean, it shaped who I am today. I think everyone told the truth and everyone gave the goods except Chris Delfonso was the only one that hit it,
And he was such a horrible liar too.
Oh, dude, he was a horrible
face.
liar. And I remember the extremes he would go through to hide what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
He
What
would
would he do?
he would put lure wraps on. He would leave everything in his truck.
He would drive by you with his rod underwater so you couldn't see the bait.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like literally handicapping himself to the point to where as long as you didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah,
Like,
he wouldn't even allow his aerator and his live well to be on if there was a boat that might hear his aerator on.
Yeah, because he'd had a fish. I mean, he was so paranoid. Do you guys have any of this in Five Alive?
Dave does it.
Kick him out now because you're going to kick him out in 6 months anyway, dude.
He's
Pre-kick him out.
One of our opens for the last couple of years. He comes to a lot of our events.
Yeah,
but-
no,
Dave covers all his baits.
Yeah.
All his Senkos are covered. 4-inch, 5-inch.
Oh, they're
Senkos.
all Senkos, but they're all
Yep.
covered. You know that.
One Texas rig, one E2 wacky.
The other great thing about the club too is I love the fact that like right now at the professional level, like an elite event or whatever, right? It's so cutthroat, but then like when it's over, everybody sort of goes their own separate ways. They're all doing their own things for the most part. I like the camaraderie in the clubs, and we messed with each other for years.
Oh my god,
dude, we messed.
Oh,
Did
God,
you do
the
that,
humor.
Pete, in Garden State? Like we legitimately tortured each other for years and years and years.
I was too naive, man.
I remember we would put dead mud shad, dead gizzard shad on the live well, let the guy pull off with it. Dave, what did you had something, I can't remember, but there was a retaliation for Dave. This is the best one ever, where we all saved our broken plastic worms for the whole year. So the other 7, 8 guys, whatever it was at the time, imagine like half trash can bags full of broken plastics. And we all went to Dave's car that he left open for whatever reason. We opened his car and filled the entire car with broken plastic. To the point where he opened the door and the shit's coming out of it.
And you guys got me with snow that one time too in the blizzard. You filled the whole inside of my car with snow. And I went creeping for you at like 2 a.m. and John McGraw's mom, and during a blizzard, was just wandering around like an apparition on the front lawn in Belmar, dude. Because he was the first one I was going to strike because he lived the closest.
What the hell was she doing out?
Dude, I don't know, man. But yo,
a cigarette.
do you guys remember we were fishing that Carnegie tournament, and I'd wrote something backwards on Brian's front bumper so that everyone he was tailgating got to read it. Like
I remember what it was.
I bought what was it? I don't remember.
What tournament?
Carnegie. It was Carnegie Lake, and I put something.
Oh, I know what it was.
What?
Ambiguously gay.
Oh,
Backwards.
yeah. So when people looked in your rearview mirror like ambulance, you see ambulance, like you would see because he's tailgating everybody, man. It was them big white stickers you would get.
Oh,
This
man.
shit ambiguously gay.
Some great moments.
Is it
dude.
is it giving you guys some ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely got some pranksters, and
Do you?
you get the baits under the gas cap on your antenna when you come in after a tournament, and
Oh yeah.
we go every year. We go to Potomac River. We have like the whole club. We all stay at the Bell Alton. We're all out
The Cat
there.
Motel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bell Alton, all the cats.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
So we're out there all drunk till 11, 12 o'clock at night before the tournament. And the one guy that got Richard Danish was absolutely wasted this year. Was out of control. He goes into bed. There was about 300 beers on top of his boat. We took all the big cones, lit him up on his power pole.
Oh, man.
He came out half hungover in the morning. Couldn't even know what to think. It's like,
It's great. It's great. You see that at the club level, and you kind of that goes away,
Yeah.
later.
Well, I don't know. Some of the guys still.
They do.
They
a
caught
little
Chris
bit.
Lane's boat on fire.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely not camaraderie, though. Brian Carpenter, what do you got? What do you got scheming back here? I see something going on. Oh, okay. So we look like have a montage being put together here. There's Wayne. I see an appearance from Wayne. Shout out to Wayne.
Wayne was a Five Alive member.
They fired him.
He was.
Wayne's fired.
How do you get fired?
we had to let him go. I mean, kind of just like Brian. Brian had a little. Brian.
Look
had
at the pictures.
Brian had a soft spot for Wayne, and we tried to do the right thing, give the guy an opportunity, and let the guy be a part of the club, and we figured to keep him out of trouble, but he couldn't keep himself out of trouble. He was just. We had to pull the plug.
You had to pull the smoke detector off the wall.
Yeah.
Brian does like to collect wayward souls, man.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. It's like a magnet.
And just mention them all the time.
I think that's why Brian and Eric get along so well.
Yeah. Damn, Eric. Yeah, he's over there laughing. He's ever living on Wayne's expense.
Word.
You know it's part of the joke.
Word.
Yeah. So anyhow, there's
Can't hear you.
reigning AOI. Tommy Two Chains.
Yeah, looks
Hey,
good.
Tommy.
Yep. It's funny.
There he is. This is what Tommy
Here we
was.
go.
Tommy was on.
This is through the years.
Yeah. How did you get into fishing? Take us through it.
Through my father.
All right. Tell us more.
Start right here as we're on this picture. Where are we right here?
Dude, that hair is rad.
I think I lived in Oakland then.
Oakland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oakland then.
Yeah.
I started striper fishing with my dad, and then I just could only fish on weekends with him because he worked. And I got a little lake and started going freshwater, and then I got him into freshwater.
Yeah.
That was it.
I got a good Tommy story. When first tournament,
Oh, you smoke? I didn't know you were smoking that early. That's crazy.
When did you run into the rough years, Tommy? This is when you joined
Right
the
about
gang?
then.
He's like, I'll go get you a shine box.
we fished a tournament on Newton Creek. This is going back 10 years ago. One of the first times I fished with Tommy, and he's always got a game plan. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. I grew up on Newton Creek, and I used to catch 10-pounders on a popper and the whole nine. So we're running up the lake, and we get up to Spillway, and we're fishing. And I see him looking up. I'm like, "What are you looking at?" And he's telling me his whole childhood he's fishing this lake, and he's looking over. He's like, "That's actually the lake I used to fish." He's pointing to Oakland Lake. It wasn't even where we were fishing the tournament. I'm like, "You kidding me, dude?"
Oh my god. Well, you could have walked the boat across the road and got over there. I don't know if that's legal, but you could have done it. That's awesome.
that was
Well, we got another photo here. Brian, what is that one? Oh, you're wearing the Marlboro hat, too.
Tommy's first sponsor.
Damn, look at that.
There he is.
Pizzas.
no,
that's Marlboro's.
Oh, is that Marbles? I couldn't see it. Oh, yeah. Look
Save
at
the
that.
miles.
Oh, my God.
I would say 2/3 of the IM questions to Five Alive has to do with Tommy and cigarettes and his shakes and everything else.
We have so many guys in the club that smoke just as much as me, but I get my balls busted.
Nobody smokes just as much as you, cuz.
Brian,
There's a guy told a story.
How many cigarettes did you find on your boat, Brian?
I fished a derby
God.
with Tommy, and
These are great photos. It's an awesome
I
tog
think
right
this
there.
was called Tommy Togtooth.
Keith Cowan made that picture.
Tommy Togtooth.
It's a nice tog.
That's a good one, Tommy. How much
That's a
that
good
one weigh?
dog.
That's definitely Keith made that picture.
That's the best.
Oh man.
Catch that one on the drop shot too.
Yep.
That's outstanding.
Jesus.
What was it you asked me? I forget.
How many cigarettes did you leave in your boat?
That's my boat.
Three packs that day, Tommy.
It was a 3-packer. It was a stressful day.
Somebody said
If the bite's bad, I will burn through them. And if I got a lot of people fishing in my area that are annoying me, the cigarettes come flying.
So if you ever
Trying
want
to smoke them out.
Yeah, smoke them out.
Somebody
Coffee,
said they
Red
drove.
Bulls,
Hey, Tom.
cigarettes.
It's a
Tom.
good technique.
Tom, someone said they drove to Florida with you, one of your fellow club members, and
Johnny
said they counted
Valdez?
76 cigarettes.
Wow.
At the time he was sleeping.
Mike, he did. So Valdez got a private Facebook group, and these guys are all in it. Valdez. So they took a ride to Florida. Tommy bought a boat down there, and Valdez did a live. They drove straight through. He did a live Facebook update of every cigarette on that Facebook
Oh
group.
my God. 76.
Photo.
Wow.
It's a long ride.
It is a long ride. It's a good hike down there.
Everybody's sleeping. It's just me driving.
Keep going.
A lot of guys.
And
Just kept smoking. Smoking and coffee.
Yeah, I gotta say, Tommy's voice, that New York, North Jersey accent, that's got to be driving the y'allers down south crazy.
I hope so.
I think they probably laugh at it.
I like it.
They impersonate us just like we do
That's
them.
true. Yeah,
They
give it
do.
back.
A lot of the smokers would always credit their smoking. Don't listen to this, kids, as helping them slow down, be better.
Oh,
slow
it-
fishermen.
Brian
It does
Thrift.
help me.
Yeah.
It does help me.
Like,
Brian Thrift.
It absolutely helps me sometimes.
It
Just
helps
to
you
calm
slow down.
If you lose a fish or something, I got to calm down, smoke a cigarette, drop some F-bombs.
Maybe we should have a contest to see who could smoke more.
Pete, I got an IM for you,
I
Pete.
got it.
So Dave B's been chopping in all night on the IM, and he won't stop about you taking his quiet killers. He wants to know when he's going to get his quiet killers back. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it is. I stole his quiet killers, man. The this is terrible. This is Dave Brown. He gave me the baits. He bought a whole a case of them, 6 baits, 8 baits. They're not cheap. And he said, "Could you tune those for me, please?" And I took them home from the event to tune them for him, and I've lost track of them.
You just never gave him back.
They're in my tackle box right now. I completely lost.
Wow.
I feel so bad. So bad, and they're not made anymore.
They're not made anymore.
No.
What's the deal with that?
We just discontinued them for the time being.
Cool. I want to change topics a little bit. Talk to you guys. You hold these tournaments. There's a lot of guys. It's at the end of the day, it's fun. There's camaraderie, but it's still a tournament, right? And there's still rules, and you still have to, have a certain level of fair playing field. Mm-hmm. First question: where do you get the rules from other circuits? Do you emulate what Bass does or FLW, or how do you get your rules and your format for your rules?
I mean, we try to, but we also tweak them to what works for our club.
Right.
But for general, it does follow Bass, but there is a lot of things in our rule that we have tweaked over the years.
Yep.
Because stuff where you're running into problems, there's a lot of rules that need clarification because they're just the way they're written. It's
Right.
not well explained, and there's a lot of black and white in some. There's a lot of gray area rather in a lot of rules.
Yeah.
And that's where you kind of try to tweak them to what works
You
for
just
us.
make stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything unique that in your rules that you guys do that other clubs or national circuits don't do?
Well,
Like a late penalty.
Yeah, according to Brian, it is. So. But I mean, I'm not really 100% sure how it works when whatever trail you fish.
Yeah.
But
We might find out shortly.
Are you allowed nets?
yes.
Yeah.
Can you troll?
No.
Can you use live bait?
No.
Nope.
Well, can you use the Alabama rig?
Yes.
Yes.
You can. Okay.
Yes, which you can't in bass, but you can use the Alabama rig and ours.
Right. Is there a length restriction on rods?
No.
Nope.
Wow. So you can show up with the surf rod, 14 footer.
Yep.
Wow, Pete. I might join the club.
It's great derby.
You have openings. Always wanted to noodle with a 14-foot rod. Well, I'm glad because I think with you guys having the biggest club in probably all the Northeast, giant turnouts for your grassroots events, and you guys having to uphold rules. I mean, it's important, right? With money now and those 12 spots, 13 spots on the line, you have to have tournament rules. I couldn't think of a better person to have come on the show. In my opinion, probably the best tournament director ever in the world. The one and only Bill Taylor from FLW joining us. Mr. Bill Taylor. Bill.
Hey, man, that's quite the introduction. You wouldn't repeat that, would you?
I'll definitely repeat it. I'll go on the record as saying that, Bill. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. And I'm out in West Kansas right now doing some deer hunting. So been in a driving mode for the last few days, and went to West Texas, and then drove back to Kentucky, and now I'm back to West Kansas. So about 3,500 miles here in the last little bit. So I'm a road warrior.
I like it. Bill, we've been talking tonight about grassroots fishing, about club level fishing. I think you guys, the FLW organization, has more experience than any other organization with those guys. You want to talk just a little bit about, Bill, about the importance of club fishing and grassroots fishing?
Sure, Mike. Obviously, as most people did, including you, Mike Iaconelli, we all started in a local club. And so with that being said, we had our little rules, and when we made our rules in 1974 in our little club that we started in Danville, Kentucky, we took a copy of the BASS rules, and as most clubs did at that point in time, and we tweaked them to suit our needs and basically our anglers and our members. And so everybody needs a set of rules to go by, especially when there's competition and trophies and sometimes money on the line. You've got to have rules. You got to enforce them.
That's right. Well, Bill, I couldn't think of a better person than you. We have a rules dispute that we would like to review with you tonight, and we have our very own producer of the show, Brian the Carpenter,
The plaintiff?
in this case, and we have 5 Alive Bassmasters who put this levy on his weight. Brian, you want to set up the scenario for Bill, and then Bill, we want to let you hear the scenario, and then we would like to get your official ruling on what the right thing to do would be in this situation. Brian, go ahead.
Well, and sure, I'll come at it from my point, and then I'll give Tim a chance to give to logic around his rule, and then we'll let Bill make his decision. Basically, we fished the 5 Alive event 2 weeks ago. Outfished Pete, which was, a win in itself.
Well, as I saw the printout, you were about 2 pounds behind me.
Due to the late penalty, yes, correct. But everyone knows.
Pete beat you with or without the
So what happened here, Brian?
The ladies know who really had
We
the
got
weight.
distracted.
Okay.
So we came in at 3:01 on the clock. The iPhones are right. They're all dialed by the moon, the stars, the sun. And we got hit with a 2-minute, 2-pound penalty at 3:01.
Oh, okay. So your
but
argument is
there's no discrepancy around the time.
Yeah.
They agree it was 3:01.
right.
Okay.
So your argument is you came in at 3:01.
We're 1 minute late.
You should have been induced a 1-minute
That's
penalty.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You want to take it?
All right, yeah. So basically, and a lot of our club tournaments, too, you got to remember, we're fishing lake. Everyone's at the ramp, still fishing at the buzzer. Our tournament ends at 3 o'clock. So anyone fishing there after 3 o'clock is now late. So you're getting a 1 pound penalty. Whether it's 3 o'clock at 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you're getting a 1 pound penalty.
Okay.
When it turns 3:01 now you're into 2 pounds. And when it turns 3:02, you're into 3 pounds. So you got a minute interval at each pound penalty.
Gotcha.
Our tournament is over at 3 o'clock. You're not in at 3, you already got a penalty.
Okay.
Now at 3:01, you're into 2-minute penalty.
Okay. Good argument. And Bill?
May I come back?
Yes, you may.
Who has the clock with the seconds on it? So
If it turns 3 o'clock, now it's 3 o'clock and 1 second, correct?
Okay, so if it hits 3, you're late.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're not,
I got you.
in the morning, we say you got to be at the dock by 3 o'clock.
Okay.
You weren't at 3 o'clock, so that's 1 pound.
Yep.
You weren't at 3:01. It turned 3:01. Now you're into the 2 pound penalty.
I got you. Okay.
All right. Bill, we'd like to get your official ruling on this scenario.
Wow, that's a different rule than what most clubs have. I wouldn't play that. Wow. I don't know how you could be penalized for two minutes or 2 pounds for being 1 minute late if you're getting a pound a minute. However, now before we go any further, I want to make sure that everybody realizes that any rule has to be enforced as that rule is written. Okay? And I'll say
As it's
that,
written.
meaning that you can't enforce a rule if you don't have a rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what you have to do is you have to look at that rule, even though the intention of the rule doesn't say exactly what it says in the rule. You've got to go with what the rule says.
Yeah.
If your rule is written that says you're late after 3 o'clock and you be penalized £1, what does it say then for the 2 minutes? Does it say that after a minute late you'll get another pound penalty? Is that what the rule says?
Yeah, in our rules, it is worded exactly like I just explained it. But you bring up a good point, because anytime you fish an open buddy tournament or any club level tournament, nobody's asking for a set of rules. Nobody's actually reading through your club's particular rules. I fished an open buddy tournament a few years ago, and I got DQ'd. I was wearing a life jacket, but in their club rules, which I would have had to ask for them or look on their website, you couldn't wear an inflatable one. It had to be a regular full-service thing, and nobody told me nothing. They just came in and they're like, "You're DQ'd," you know. And I took my DQ, and it was what it was. I didn't look into it. And,
Yeah,
and
that club can go away.
You took your DQ like a man.
Yeah.
You didn't whine.
I got you. I got you.
Cry about it.
I got you. By the way, you almost had a penalty tonight.
All right, so to clarify, you have a set of
It is
written
written
rules.
exactly in our rules like that, because
Okay.
we've had people, fishing at the buzzer, and,
Yeah.
and that's why it was written like
So-
that.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, to avoid confusion, we could.
Let me say just a few things about this particular rule, okay? I get calls all the time, guys, from clubs, from other tournament organizations, wanting to know how I would interpret a rule in a certain situation. Okay, it's each competitor's responsibility to know the rules, okay? And the tournament director should go over those immediate rules to their anglers before each event, whether it's the morning before, the evening before, or whatever, okay? Now, I encourage every organization to pretty much follow the same rules that other tournament organizations utilize when it comes to wearing your PFDs, on how to measure the fish, those simple rules that we've all got. So whenever I fish, let's just say if I fish a fisherman of men event, then I would think, okay, they measure the fish the same as we do at FLW, the BFL, or the Costa, or the Tour. They also count the dead weight penalties the same. They count the late penalties, the late penalties the same way. And most organizations give you 59 seconds before you're counted a minute late. Because you're not a minute late, your minute would be 3:01. And 2 pound penalty for being 2 minutes would be 3:02 at every organization that I've ever fished in. And I encourage grassroots organizations to write those rules so that whenever a person fishes a different tournament, they're more familiar with how the rules should read and how everybody does it. And that way there'll be fewer questions at the end of the day. And that's what we don't want to have to do. We don't want to have to penalize someone or disqualify someone for a technicality.
Timmy does.
But bottom line is, I think Brian was probably guilty.
There you have it. It's official, Brian. When Bill, a rule's a rule. When Bill Taylor
down.
says you're guilty, you're guilty, and that's all I have to say about it. There you have it, folks.
I have a question.
Hey, it isn't easy to have to penalize someone. I don't care if it's a club event. I don't care whether it's just an open tournament, a jackpot tournament. I don't care what it is. When you have to disqualify someone or penalize them for any rule violation, it isn't easy. But it has to be done if there's a rule violation the way that rule's written.
But should they smile when they hand you?
I'm sorry, Brian.
Brian, sorry.
Yeah, but should they be smiling when they're handing you that penalty?
I don't think the tournament director should show any emotion.
No emotion.
No emotion.
That's right.
The rule's the rule. Bill, I can't thank you enough for carving out some time from hunting to give us the
that's
official
fine.
ruling. It's so special to have you deliver that tonight.
Indeed.
Well, first off, I want everybody out there to know now this is the real Bill Taylor.
It is the real Bill, yes. Yes, it is the real Bill Taylor.
This is the real deal.
That's right. That's right.
Not one of the several imposters.
I'm glad you had me on, guys. And anytime, feel free to give me a call. You know, I can cut up with you, or I can get serious. And this is serious. A rule violation is serious. So,
I agree.
Regardless.
I'd agree. I would.
And I believe probably Mike Iaconelli's been penalized.
I don't want to comment on that right now, Bill. But
now, Pete, I don't think Pete Luzik, I don't know of any rule violation he's ever been involved under. So
never.
You know,
Hey, Pete made it in on time that day. That's
That he did.
Should Five Alive consider eliminating Brian from ever being able to compete
He might have
in
to.
their tournaments in the future?
I don't think he's been completely disqualified. He was just penalized.
That's
Now,
right.
if he's been disqualified, that's one thing.
That's right.
Well, hey, that brings up a good point. I'm glad you said that. We get calls all the time from other tournament organizations. They say, well, how come you let this guy fish? He was disqualified from our tournament. Well, your rules may be different, and we see things different. A disqualification doesn't mean that person blatantly cheated or did something that was against the integrity of the sport. So we have to look at how the rule is written, what that person did, before we would ban that person.
Yeah.
If there's no integrity involved there as far as a rule violation and he's disqualified, that's one thing. Being banned for an event for downright cheating, that's another thing. So let's make sure everybody out there knows that there's a difference in just being disqualified from the tournament. So there's many ways you could be disqualified.
So did Brian cheat?
No, not at all.
No. and I guarantee you, Mike, and you'll agree with me 100% here, that 99% of all rule violations are not intentional.
I'd agree with that. I'd say 99.9% are not.
You're exactly right.
Yes.
The integrity of these guys, I don't care what level it is. I fished a tournament last weekend, Lake Cumberland, 124 boats, and I would trust everybody that fished that event.
Yeah.
And we have to, because as tournament fishermen, we're a bunch of good guys, Mike, and I think you'll agree with me.
Yeah, Dave,
I agree.
Dave Brodzik, do you have something coming through the IM?
We do. Bill, Duke Lunkins wants to know, is it true that deep hidden inside the FLW rulebook, Scott Martin is exempt from late penalties?
Oh, that's not correct. Scott Martin's exempt from all rule violations.
We knew it.
I knew it.
And listen, you tell Mr. Luke Duncan to give me a call.
Oh man!
I'll tell you what. I want to brag on Luke Duncan. I tell you, he's the top of his game, dude, and I respect him with all my heart. I love him like a brother. But I tell you what, he needs to be brought up every now and then. He's got to stand together.
I wouldn't argue with you on that one. Bill, thank you for joining us again. And before I let you go...
my pleasure. And listen, good luck for next season to everyone out there listening. I know we got a lot going on in the sport. FLW is on fire. We signed 170 anglers.
Yes!
That field will be
Yes!
and took over 200 entries. And going forward, we'll reduce that field in 2020 to a minimum of 150 or maximum of 150. So we're rolling, guys, and we appreciate it. And you guys have a great holiday coming up. And if you need anything, give me a call. Hear me?
You too.
You
we
bet.
we
Thank
appreciate
you,
it, Bill. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you, Bill.
Good.
Bill Taylor, everybody. That was nice.
That's awesome.
The expert coming on
That was
to
beautiful.
rule in favor.
Yeah.
I don't know, but take it easy. He
think-
called it like it was. It's a crazy rule.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was in violation.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy rule.
But why is it crazy, though? I don't mean,
Well, here's the
seriously.
thing.
I
I
don't,
got to
disagree
be
with
honest
it.
with you. I got to be honest with you. In the same scenario, I would have,
you
I would have
broke
been
a
late.
rod.
I would have been late as well. No, because I wouldn't have read the rules. I fished in many of your events. I don't read the rules, and I can't tell you how many times I've come in at 3:58, 3 with 58 seconds or 50 seconds. in bass and FLW, you're not penalized till hits 1. So I may have done the same thing.
Which,
you know?
hey, it might be something that we do change to go with the way everyone's doing
There
it.
you
But
go.
it's just-
Progress, everybody. Progress.
But-
See that? Everybody's getting better.
we don't like giving penalties anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't. It's a tough thing, but you got to do it. A few years ago, one of our opens at Manasquan, we had somebody protest another guy for life jacket violation. You got to wear your
I
life
remember
jacket
that.
there.
Yeah.
There was pictures of it, everything.
Jesus.
So
Yeah.
we had to DQ the guys. They
Yeah.
blasted us all up and down the internet. We had no choice.
Yeah.
It was in our rules. It's a lake rules. There's pictures of it. We
Yeah.
had to DQ them.
Maybe they had the fanny pack on under their shirt.
No, they had nothing. He had
No
no
shirt
no
on.
shirt on, chest
Maybe
hair
that
out. He
gut
was
was
ready
the
to go.
fanny
But-
pack.
Anthony
There was back
Tortorella.
hair
But
and
the funny thing is,
It was under his chest hair. You didn't
so
see it.
after going online and bashing us and we're the worst club ever and all this stuff, well, he realized we did the right thing. We're a good group of guys. He's a member of our club now. So,
Wow,
you
how
know,
about that?
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks when you're in that situation.
Yeah.
You got to give a penalty, but you got to
Yeah.
do what you got to
Nah,
do.
you guys run a really good show over there, honestly, and that's why you're here tonight. You know, you know what you're doing speaks for itself. Your classic, your club membership. Top
That's
Rod,
crazy.
we couldn't get 20 members without everybody wanting to fight each other at some point. So,
Hey,
like I
Tim.
said, it's impressive, and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Tim, as a former tournament director myself and the original tournament director of Top Rod, I have
Here it comes.
to A, concur with your choice to penalize them, and concur not only with the penalty itself, but the time frame in which you implemented it. You're absolutely right that because it could be 1 minute after and 59 seconds. That's basically 2 minutes. I agree with the penalty. If you step on a scale at a weigh-in and you're 1.8, you're 1.8, man. You're not 1. Okay. Good job.
I would have DQ'd him.
Go ahead, Bri.
Turn his mic off.
He probably should have been DQ'd for insubordination because I know how he would have acted. Because I did it myself. I DQ'd him and insubordinated him. Did I? No, I late penalty.
Well, they should have been DQ'd before
Yeah.
they even launched.
No, I had to
You
get-
can't have drugs or alcohol on the boat. That would have
outta
DQ'd him right there.
I had to give him a 15-minute late penalty. Remember that one time?
Oh, I had a bag too.
Yeah.
And
Good
the
job,
fact
Tim.
where they fished, they walked in there because the tide was so low.
Oh.
So hey, real quick, talking about the Delaware.
Yeah.
So that morning, we had an effed up tide. Pete, you fished the event.
Blowout tide.
Mike Centaur made an observation that morning that I thought was really interesting. We're talking about tidal fishing. So we're all sitting there ready to head out, looking at the tide charts. I know where I'm going, and it's tide dependent.
Yeah.
You know the deal.
Yeah.
It blows out. You know, you've got it. You can
You
only
can't get in there.
Yeah.
You can only get in and
Yeah.
out when the water's up. So he points to the water line on the wall where it's wet, and where the high tide had gotten to, and 3 foot above that was where the high tide goes to.
Mm,
Okay, so the tide never came in that night
right.
because the wind blew all night long against the tide coming in.
Right.
Wind blew downriver, so the tide never came up. So we were way low to begin with. But
You didn't use that gauge? Remember that barge out front where I used to have the rocks that told you what level? Like if the rocks, the water level.
we turned around and fished till noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's people, two dudes sat in the mud till noon.
Yeah, okay.
But it was interesting, like seeing that, like the tide never came up that
Yeah.
morning. Looking at where the high tide had gotten to.
Mhm.
So there's the fresh wet line. Here's where it's at now, and there's where it goes.
Yeah.
So it was
Smart.
3 foot from where it ever
Wow.
really gets to.
It's crazy.
That was a neat observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super low, and
Yeah.
you know, every place I went, you know, it's like stuff was sticking out of the water. You know, fish had changed. They were biting really good in a lot of the areas, and they didn't bite quite as good in that extreme blowout. And you know, Brian, in addition to his disqualification, he continually hindered me with phone calls to try to distract me
During the day?
during the day,
Wow.
so that he could catch up.
That's got to be something in the rules about that, right? Handicapping?
No, we had boat issues.
He had boat issues.
Oh,
They
okay.
were couldn't get water pressure, fuel. There, I was worried that you guys weren't going to make it back in at all.
Broke the trolling motor handle because he didn't have a G-force trolling motor handle.
And then you got to have a G-force.
But now he does.
Now
and
he
now we
does.
won't have that problem.
Atta
Hey,
boy.
I got a question for the Five Alive guys. Union Hog 147 wants to know who is your most hated member.
This guy right here.
Tommy!
He's the one that everybody doesn't want to see win, but he's constantly winning. But
Talk about that, Tom.
They're just haters.
Haters.
They're all haters.
Tell us about it, Tommy.
They're just haters, bro.
So when you join Five Alive, you'll get to know Tommy really quick. When you join and you start doing well, the first thing he's going to do is try to break you down to the ground. He's going to try to make you quit. He's going to make you hate him. He's going to talk trash to you, and you're just going to straight up hate him. But then if you continue to do well, then you get on the phone call list, and you just climb and climb and climb. And if you win a couple tournaments, he'll be calling you, telling what he had for dinner, what you know. He'll tell you every detail of his life. He's one of them. So you'll get to know him really well quickly when you join Five Alive.
So you're the top dog at Five Alive, like Angler of the Year this year, 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Outstanding.
Consistency, Pete.
Yep.
Got to be
That's all it is.
consistent.
And it is
You
a
gotta
very,
be.
very competitive club. We've got guys that just absolutely dominated the club they came from, and they come in and they're just struggling to keep up because there's a lot of good fishermen in our club. It's just
Yeah, there's a lot of good sticks.
Yeah.
So do you engage in like disinformation to lead the guys astray
oh yeah.
to keep your top spot?
Yeah. He tells you where everyone else is catching him in practice. Send everybody.
Yeah, send them all over there. Get 'em out of
Biting
my
down
way.
by the dam in the clear water. Meanwhile, you're up in the river cranking.
I love it.
I love it too. Brian DeCarver, let's do this. Let's take a break in a second. Come back. Oh, we got what do you got?
We got a hot call on the phone.
Oh, a hot call. We got a lead. Okay.
Hit it.
Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Corey Smith. I'm calling from Orlando, Florida.
Hi, Corey. What's your question, comment tonight?
So my comment is, you guys asked the guys from Five Alive here. I know you.
What's up, Corey?
I see you giving me the hands on there. So I was out fishing a fall tournament with you, Mike, and I remember because I fished the college series. I had met you a couple times, you know, and I'm sure you remember me out of all the people you met. But I'm fishing the tournament, and I'm fishing with a guy that I sort of knew, and all of a sudden I hear this, like, screaming. Like, this guy's going nuts out there in this fall tournament on the Delaware River with the Five Live Bassmasters. And I turn around and I look around the corner. Who is it? It's you, Mike.
It's me.
It's you. And you're going crazy. And I just looked at the guy I was fishing with, and I go, do you believe that? And he goes, yeah, that guy's going crazy. What the hell's wrong with him? I go, that guy's my hero.
That's
That
awesome.
guy is my freaking hero. Because whether it's for $100,000 or what are you guys fishing for now? Looks like 25 grand? Is that what the? Yeah, something like that. But it's like that guy's going crazy, and I think he's going to win like $125 if he wins this thing,
Yeah.
right? But he's going crazy, and
Yeah.
I said, you know what? That's my hero right there. That's it's like a knee-jerk reaction. It's like you hit Mike Iaconelli in the knee. What happens? He goes crazy.
I tell you, I love that story, and it's honestly true. I just got to fish a winter league with Eric the intern on Sunday, and there was what do we have? 9 boats. 9 boats is all we had. And dude, I mean, if, you know, we're all competitive. You want to win every time you go out there, and it's the feeling isn't different at all, Pete. Whether it's the classic, or an elite, or a major league fishing, or a Five Alive event, or freaking 9 boats on Sunset, dude, you want to win, man. You know, when I caught that 3-pounder at Sunset, I knew, man. I knew on that place. That's like catching a 10-pounder.
Did you capture any of that content, Nate?
That's the thing. There was no time for that.
No time.
We had to win the tournament.
Had to win the
That's
tournament.
all that mattered.
But it is the beauty of club fishing, and I'm so glad you called in with that comment, which is for a lot of people listening right now. A lot of people are going to listen to this podcast down the road, and you want to have that feeling, you know, that feeling of that excitement and you know, you're in a tournament and there are these ups and downs, and that moment where you catch that fish, dude, you can do that at a club tournament. It's the same thing as in the classic. And that's the beauty of grassroots fishing and club fishing, is that anybody can partake in that.
Yep.
So that's awesome comment, and I appreciate that call.
And that was, Mike, that was before you won the big event on the Delaware, by the way. That's important to mention.
That was way back in the day. Where were we fishing? What part of the river?
I can't even remember the name of the place because since I moved to Florida, we have slightly larger bass down here.
Oh, this guy.
Yes, that's true. You do.
But I will say this. I've got a question. Tim, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. I've got a question for you, and this is going to challenge the Five Alive Bassmasters rule book.
Oh.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
Let's get Bill Taylor back on.
I was fishing with Jim Carwick. I'm allowed to say names, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. I just
Jim's
said
in
his
our
name
club
anyway.
now.
So I was fishing with him, and he's like, "Okay, I got the secret spot." It was in the same cove, and he goes, "We're gonna run a crankbait down this cove, right? And we're gonna catch some fish off it." So we go there and we're fishing, and I'm like, "This guy's got the sweet spot. You know, something's gonna be good here." And he goes, "Oh, here it is," and he casts out there. And he catches one, like, instantly, right? Okay, that's not the moral of the story.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We get kind of
That
blown
spot.
up into this cove. What is he fishing? Well, at the time, I thought it was just trash. But I think Jim planted this here, Tim.
Ooh.
It was a shopping cart.
Oh.
It was a shopping cart, and I swear Jim planted that shopping cart there.
Legal or not
so
legal?
Is that against your rules?
No, you could absolutely plant your own shark.
No, we plant stuff.
Plant anything you want.
Yeah, it might be against
got
like
Christmas
state
trees.
rules, and
Yeah,
littering
the
rules.
state
but-
regulations will.
Does that
dictate
trump?
there.
Does the state regulation trump?
Well,
Most all.
just
Go
to
ahead.
clarify, though, anything you do as far as planting, that would not be done during the tournament hours. So that wouldn't even pertain to the tournament. We don't have a restriction on what you can and cannot do. We can't tell you can't litter when you're not fishing. Like, what you do on
Good
your own
call,
time
Timmy.
is kind of is a whole other
It's good
set
interpretation.
of rules to get into.
Yes.
Call Tim.
Yeah, that is a good call.
I'm pretty sure it had a bratwurst in it, so I think he may have forgotten to take his groceries right out of there.
Brodzik might have planted it then if it had Bratwurst.
Throwing the bait in on the shopping cart.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. You take care.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Entitled Florida anglers. Sons of bitches.
Bass U's going to be down in Florida in a couple weeks.
That's
in
right.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Very excited
Yeah, I
about
didn't
that, huh?
want to go.
Who
Yeah,
you
why
fishing
do
with
we
now?
live here, guys? Seriously, Mike, Pete, Brian, why do we live at the Five Live guys? Why do we live in this state? Why don't we live in Florida?
Because
For the food.
the people are so friendly, accommodating. Why? How could you leave?
You know, from a fishing, if all you did in life was fish, you'd probably not live here.
Well, that's all you do.
No, that's not true. Get out of here.
Food's good.
Yeah, food's good.
People can take a joke.
Yeah, people take a joke. You got family, you got friends, you got cities within the drive all around you.
Things that happen in the world happen here first.
Yeah.
They are all on like Xanax down there. Nobody laughs at our humor. They hate us.
They do kind of hate us.
Even
90%
like
of them.
no one's really from Florida. Everyone's from everywhere, and they don't like us from everywhere.
Yeah. But I honestly, what you said, I was just at Grand Cayman last week, and it does run through your mind, right? Because it's 70 to 80 degrees all year round. Dude, the fishing is insane anywhere you go for a million different species.
Yeah.
You know, it's like things are expensive, but besides that, it's like, God, why, you know, you imagine living in a place like that.
How come there's no world powers in paradise?
Don't
Any
know.
place that has really beautiful, amazing conditions,
Yeah.
they invent nothing.
No.
All
Well,
the
they're wiped
invention comes-
out every 10 to
All
20
the
years.
inventions come from places with a harsh environment.
That's true.
It's everything.
They get
That's true.
soft.
Think about it.
They get soft.
They get soft.
Yeah,
It's
like the quiet killer came from Pete's anus.
Right. Now it's silent.
Break time.
And break time.
All right, it's a good pausing point. Listen to me. Thank you for watching tonight. But listen, Pete, we got one more segment. When we come back, guys, will you stick around with us for one more?
Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to have a whole nother segment when we come back. Listen to this. We're going to be talking about the line cutters contest. And someone, either in this room or someone at line cutters, Vance or one of those guys, is going to be eating human hair tonight. You're going to get to see that. Also, I hope it's Brian too. Also, we're going to be doing an MTB unboxing, and we're going to be talking about a TH trolley motor product of the month, Pete. All that when we come back. More Ike Live in a little bit.
Awesome.
with reel snot. Been out on this pond for about an hour now. Haven't had a whole lot of luck. We've had a couple blow-ups, but not getting a lot. So we thought we would try the new Java product on this frog on the top water. It works great on jigs and other plastics, but we've noticed that when we do use it on top water, we get a trail in the water, the scent's in the water, and we're getting a lot more bites. So we're gonna spray some Java all over the frog. Apply some reel snot to the braid, get it nice and wet, and then as I reel it in, it's gonna work its way through it. Okay, so now we got that scent in the water, and then we got the frog all juiced up with some reel snot, Java. Let's see what happens here. There's one, there's one. So as you can see, that scent got around in this little area, this little pocket we're fishing, and sure enough, one came up and nailed it. Small one, albeit, but hadn't caught anything since we've been here for about an hour and 10 minutes now. There's one. That's a good one too. That's a good one. Much better. Good little guy. Threw my frog. Man, they love this stuff. Right through the nose.
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
Might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels bigger. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a...
Oh! 27 incher.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my God, that's such a healthy fish. Look at the size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it.
You can't even see it, man.
That might be a keeper.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it
Live minnows back on Carl was talking live minnows. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday night. I know we are. We're having a great time tonight here on Ike Live.
Damn right.
We're talking club fishing. We're talking grassroots fishing. And we had select members, Bri, from Five Alive Bassmasters on tonight. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, they got a... Dave Brodzik, let me corner you since you're on the casting couch right now.
What'd you just say, Dave?
It smells like cigarettes blowing in here.
There he is. Let's smell some cigarettes coming in here. Dave, I'll corner you real quick since you're sitting on the casting couch. That's an amazing thing these guys got going on. I mean, the sheer number of participants, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
They have more members maybe than both the nations combined. In terms of participation.
They might, absolutely.
I mean, it's unheard of, actually. It's not even, we're kind of underselling how rare it is and how unbelievable it is, actually, when you think about it.
Right. Do you think there'll be a resurgence in club fishing now that sort of there's a changing of the guard in bass fishing right now?
No. I think these guys have something unique. I think the trend is downward. And
Right.
I don't see that changing. But these guys figured something out,
Right.
and they have a brand.
I think
they actually have a club brand. Believe it.
Yeah.
I think there could be. I think there certainly could be. I think if people listen to the show and emulated what they're doing,
Right.
and that's kind of motivation for us to do this tonight. You know, is the hopes that other people see the opportunities that are out there and create your own thing. You know, so. Sorry, you're distracted, Mike.
Sorry, a text came through. I wanted to see if it was a comment about the show tonight, but it was something else.
I got you.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I'd like to see people, club fishing's big in Jersey.
Yeah.
A lot because of what we have here. We have a lot of small lakes, so there's no big Lake Normans and Okeechobees and Sam Rayburn's where
Right.
there's just always derbies out there for people to fish. So what we have here kind of leads us to all these little small clubs. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what they've got is pretty special, and I think I'd love to see more clubs across the country.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me ask you this, Dave. You've club fished before,
Yeah.
Top Rod and some other ones. Would you reconsider joining the club? You're at a different state of your life right now. You're doing more kayak fishing. Would you consider joining a club again?
I wouldn't. I'm not that passionate about it
Right.
like I used to be. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I can get out. No, T, what club you belong to, Bri?
Fool, you showed up to one winter,
Low T.
one Thursday nighter.
What did I just get done saying? I'm not into it like everybody
Yeah,
else
you fished
is.
3 hours all 2018.
Yeah, so what? Wait a minute. What am I saying it's different to that?
That's not true. You fished the Ike Foundation event.
Yeah, yeah.
You fished 8 hours.
And I put in a lot of
No,
work.
you're
I
not
put
saying
in work,
anything different.
right?
I'm saying I'm disappointed with your performance.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not like, Jesus, God. Mike asked me, why don't you want to join the club? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, hold
But
on. Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make an observation.
Yeah.
Our co-host has our guests pinned down out there in a full-on conversation while we're doing a live fucking show.
I like it. The show's actually going way better without him here. So that's
Justin
Pete.
Kimmel. Do you see what's going on?
That's Pete
Lusick
Lowe.
as the guest of the show, and they're having a
right,
whole
let
other
me-
show out there.
I want to take it to a different perspective. Dave, we got you. You're the veteran. You've been club fishing forever. Eric, let me ask you. Let me corner you. You've been around this scene long enough now. You fished enough local derbies and pickups and winners. And would you consider joining a club?
Absolutely. It's funny. So I've always been like a real avid fisherman. I go whenever I can. But
Yeah.
the tournament scene was never necessarily something that I was into.
Right.
I mean, I'm competitive, but at the same time, I'm a big fan of just fishing.
Yeah.
Just the aspect of going fishing.
Yeah.
But flashback to this past summer, Brian over here started getting me into the Thursday night beer leagues a little
Yeah.
bit. And the first thing I realized is, oh my God, catching a 12-incher has never felt like this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You catch so many
'Cause it could be
12-inchers,
important. 12 inches
2-pounders,
important
3-pounders in your
sometimes.
life.
Yeah.
But now you hook that fish at Newton, when you know you get 4 more of them, you might win.
Yeah.
It's a totally different feeling. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that combined with fishing some winter leagues recently, I mean, for 2019, I'm definitely considering getting more
when
into
you're fun
it.
fishing, those
Yeah.
12 inches are kind of meaningless.
Right.
They can get to be meaningless. You know what I mean? So it adds, it adds something to it. It adds that whole extra layer. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see him kind of get enlightened because Eric's been, a YouTube guy and a passionate fisherman, but that was his avenue for it. Where
Yeah.
we went the tournament route from the beginning, but his home was in the YouTube crowd, and they don't always tournament fish. So it's cool to see him get into the tournament deal a little bit and enjoy that as well.
Yeah, I like it.
How did it feel to win? This is like your third win, fourth win.
It felt good. It'll feel better when I don't just have to play netman. But it was good. It was good.
Well,
I had a fun time.
Brian said there was one derby.
Oh no,
where-
no,
where
that
you
the
dominated
one's a
catch.
Brian.
Yes.
One's a Brian are different. One's a Brian are different.
Not
but
always.
sometimes.
Sometimes I carry, sometimes he carries.
That's the way it is, though. It's
Yeah.
funny like that. It's either Brian's carrying it or I'm carrying it. We never are both on the same page. It seems like.
Can you compare and contrast the tournament day with Brian versus tournament day with Mike?
You dick.
The one thing is just the stress levels are down because there's just less of a chance. In my mind, I know if I'm fishing with Mike versus fishing with Brian, there's less of a chance of something catastrophic happening. To put it in perspective, the first Thursday nighter we fished, what did we have? So you hit someone in the Wawa parking lot. We were 15 minutes late to the tournament.
10.
I think you forgot some of the boxes that we were supposed to use that day. You
brought nothing, but go ahead, carry on. You brought one tag of
you hooked what would have been the winning fish, proceeded to lose the winning fish and your cell phone in the water simultaneously. This is the first one. This is the first Thursday night.
And I still had a great night. I caught a muskie. My first ever muskie.
Lost miscellaneous, catching a muskie to a snakehead.
Very negative perspective.
And we lost by 0.02 ounces. So that's what a typical day with Brian is like. But I love it. It's all part of it.
That's okay, guys. It's all going to turn around on this boat build.
The boat build's going to change everything.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
If there's any Scarecrow sponsors out there listening to this podcast, we're after.
Well, did you get nervous? I mean, you're fishing with one of the greatest anglers in the world. I mean, you got to be intimidated or get nervous.
No? That's the thing, because Mike doesn't make it like that, you know? Because you don't feel. It's hard to explain, but I don't feel like I'm fishing with someone that I watched on TV when I was 6.
He grew up following John B. and
no,
and
what are you
those
talking
guys.
about? That's
so
not,
fishing with Mike is no big deal.
That's not true.
That's me taking a shot back. That was a shot back.
Yeah, but it's like I don't like those guys.
Don't take it too far.
But I don't like
Five
those
Alive
guys.
guys are caught in the crossfire here.
I don't
Somebody's
endorse
getting
those guys.
DQ'd.
I watched City Limits growing up. That's what I watched.
City Limits. I love it. Let me remind everybody you're watching Ike Live. This is a club fishing, grassroots fishing special, Pete. We want to hear from you. Hit us up on IM if you got a question for anybody. Five Alive guys on the couch. You got a question for them, hit us up. Catch up with sponsors real quick, Pete.
Tommy.
Yes.
What's your most memorable cigarette in a tournament? I'm sorry, it hit me. I had a question.
Okay.
I want to know Tommy's most memorable cigarette in a tournament.
Okay. This might get us a cigarette sponsor.
Shout out to Marlboro.
Yeah.
Paul Mall, what do we got?
I
Mall.
caught a 6-pounder at the ramp at the reservoir with 1 minute to go.
Ooh.
With about 25 boats sitting right next to us.
Ooh.
Were you smoking?
I was not smoking, but I definitely smoked after we put that fish in the boat.
Wow.
Nice.
You knew it was over.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one late.
What lake was that?
Manasquan Reservoir.
Manasquan.
On a Ned rig.
Dude, Manasquan,
Yes.
speaking of Manasquan potentially has, in my opinion, the next state record.
Nope.
Agreed?
Nope.
False.
Agreed? Eric,
I
you
think so,
disagree?
absolutely.
I disagree.
Okay, Brian the Carpenter?
Five Alive ruined that.
No, I don't think so. Why do you disagree, E?
It gets
No, I'm not going to name any names, but I disagree.
Oh, I know the other lake.
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I don't know.
Okay. I think it has a big one in it, man.
I think Asapink still has a big one in it.
I think it does too. Deep
Although
water,
that place is
right?
Killed.
Bait. All the elements.
Well, Manasquan is still it's still so young.
And Manasquan's got grass now, which has like elevated in
Many
my
different
mind.
kinds of grass,
I gotta
too.
say,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A lot of different grass.
Right.
Yeah.
Hydrilla, milfoil, lots of different stuff there.
Well, those
Young
young
and dog years or-
reservoirs go up and down, and
Young-
the
young and
bait
Jesus
fish swell,
years.
and it takes a little
compared
while to
Moses, what are
stabilize.
you talking about?
Young compared to the Delaware River.
Okay. That's a good point.
It's freshly built. It takes a little while. The populations go up, then they go down, they go up. You see that a lot when Manasquan was like it was so hot. Everybody was going there and catching 6-pounders. Everybody was doing it, and now it's only you can catch 6-pounders.
The results are still. We just had a 22, almost 23-pound bag come in out of
That's
there.
wow.
The weights are just insane. I mean, on a regular tournament, you need 18 pounds there, which is a lot for New Jersey. You know?
Wow, that's up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because for the last few years, it hadn't been that way. You know, the reports have been down on Manasquan. Guys have stopped going there.
It did have a downturn. It gets pounded in the spring, but guys stopped going in the summer. We had an August tournament, and we had 15 pounds. We didn't even take a check. So I mean, they're coming in with bags out of there.
Wow.
So, we had a guy in our Krista from our
Changing.
club caught a 6'7" lunker in our tournament. So there's some giant fish coming out of there.
Wow.
So
And smallmouth.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Small
always
is on
had
the up over there, too.
smallmouth.
There are definitely a lot of them showing
In
up.
that guy's 22-pound bag, were there any smallmouth?
No, but there's a lot caught around him. Small.
Yeah, we had
Wow.
They were close by.
Wow. It's crazy.
I got to take a visit down there.
Yeah.
I used to go there to practice fishing standing timber.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the thing there. You can go now and practice the deep grass bite. It's like probably one of the only places in Jersey you can do that, right? What's the grass grow? In the 20 feet?
Not cool.
Nah, 16 feet.
16 feet.
17
Wow.
feet.
Does it top out in 16 feet?
Yes.
Wow.
What kind of grass is this? Is it milfoil or
There's
hydrilla?
milfoil, there's hydrilla. There's a lot in there, and it grows late in the year.
Yeah.
It really spikes up.
Right.
Like,
They've
towards
been
the last-
they've been treating it for hydrilla, and I think they kind of stopped towards the end of the year, and like right before they're closing, it's like up to the surface all over the place now. It's like it
Wow.
just takes over.
Oof.
I think they stopped putting the treatment or whatever.
That's
they were
awesome.
doing,
Punch, baby.
It'll be a frog lake in no time.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sounds like a punch lake.
That'll help.
Pete, let's catch up real quick with our sponsors here. Also want to talk about Traeger grills. Man, I tell you, we've been cooking a lot on that thing. We had the turkey, our Thanksgiving special a few weeks ago. Tonight, thank you guys for bringing the fish, by the way. We had tuna and tog tonight on the Traeger. Unbelievable.
There's still some out there.
Still some out there. The tog was unbelievable tonight. Also, line cutters. We're going to get these guys on in a second. Big shout out to line cutters. Man, of course, we got the flat mount right here, Pete. I had the ring on a little earlier, and we've got the new line pull, the zipper pull that you can put on any kind of bag. It's great. I've used it all year in Fish My City. Also brought to you by Real Snot. Pete, you know about that stuff, man. Braid, mono, fluorocarbon, doesn't matter. Longer, smoother casts.
Less backlash.
Yes, by
Hey,
the way.
why we talk about real snot? Tommy, you started using that shit, right?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
I love it. It
Yeah?
definitely makes you cast further.
Definitely
get a
cast
lot
further.
of cast.
Absolutely. Yeah. It makes a difference to me. I mean,
keep selling, Tom.
20 feet's 20 feet, man. You know?
Absolutely.
Tom, does it help your cigarette light up quicker in the wind?
Absolutely.
Do they take Marlboro miles, or you got?
Is it flammable?
Non-flammable, which helps out, right, Tom?
It does.
Absolutely.
By the way, for Real Snot, if anybody's listening right now and you want to try it, you go to realsnot.com, use the promo code TurboTuesday30. Even though it's past Cyber Monday, they're still going to honor that sale, Pete.
Sweet.
Yes.
I tell you another little bonus to having the real snot in the boat is it lubricates. So we've used it to lubricate reels, trolling motor, pedal sticking, hanging up, cables, all of the above. Eric, what did we use it when we went up to Schwartzwood? There was something I used it on that was hanging up on the boat. Oh, I forget. Anyhow, man, it's just good to have it in the boat because it's a lubricant. You know what I mean? In addition to give you great castability with your line.
Did you use it to like scrape off like a broken marijuana bag or something? Like what?
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Grow up.
Also,
this time of year keeps ice out of your eyes.
It does. Out of your eyes?
Rod ice.
Oh, okay. You point it to your eyes. I was like, damn, I never tried it in that perspective.
But really, real snot's
it is.
Biggie.
Also brought to you by Liquid Mayhem. Scent is important. Go to liquidmayhem.com. Use the promo code IkeLive25. 25% off anything on Liquid Mayhem site.
I saw you using Liquid Mayhem.
Oh, dude.
On National Geographic.
Oh, yeah, dude. International fish, doesn't matter. It's all the same scent, you know. Flambeau, maker of great products like this tackle bag right here in front of me. Go to flambeau.com. Use the promo code IkeLive for 20% off anything on the Flambeau site. Brian the Carpenter, I want to mention one other one. Not really official sponsor, but I think this would be a good time to talk about this product.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity here, Pete, at Ike Live to test scenario.
Let's do that, man. Pass some boxes
Yeah, we're
around.
going to do that. We're going to test scenario some cool products, and I'll have one here.
Get Dave a drink. It's his birthday, and you're drinking.
And we'll Eric, pass that one back there. Pete, I want you to look at this right here. This is sort of looks like a fire log, really fancy packaging. But this is Primal Urge Foods. And they sent us some samples to try. Want everybody to open it up. And if you look in here, this is a potpourri of meat sticks, of jerky from all over the place. Really cool thing about this box, check this out. A little listing menu of the different meats in here. I'll give you an idea. Right here, we've got rosemary herb chicken. We've got JK beef jerky, sweet and spicy. Joe's all natural. It's an original. We've got Lucky Jerky teriyaki. I mean, this is unbelievable. We got Native American hot pepper, Vermont Smoke Cure barbecue, Western Smokehouse. All these different brands from all over the country. We've got these things in this box here. So
Is this like a gift box?
This is basically mystery tackle box for beef jerky.
Awesome.
And I tell you, as a fisherman, I got to be honest with you. And this
I'm
is
a fan.
I'm a fan. I love beef jerky on the boat because it's quick, it's easy. Traveling.
protein?
Traveling in the truck too between tournaments. I love beef jerky. So I'm curious to try this out. I'm gonna pick one of these samples, Pete, and I'm gonna pass it to you. I'm looking for. I'm gonna go with the teriyaki, Pete. I'll pass it to you if you want to try one out. Invite you guys in the back to try it. Primal Urge Foods. Check them out on Twitter. And we're gonna do an official sampling here tonight on Night Live. Let's see this here. Got the teriyaki. Oh yeah.
What's your favorite meat to have in your mouth, Mike?
I've had teriyakis I've liked. This is lucky.
Dude, I'm eating the jalapeno
Oh, yeah.
smart stick, and it's going well with this IPA too. It's
It's
amazing.
going good?
Yeah.
This is a teriyaki. See how it is with the founders.
Now, I this is a great product, but I'm stepping out, man. I'm trying ostrich.
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 How'd you get that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Ostrom.
I've never had ostrich.
I'm assuming it's ostrich. I don't know.
Ostrom's ostrich?
That's a heck of an assumption.
Probably says like oak with your blind ass.
It has a picture of an ostrich on it.
It's ostrich.
That's awesome, dude.
Mike, it's ostrich, Mike.
Beef.
Oh, that's good.
Beef snack stick. Ostrich added.
There's 10 unique sticks in each box, Pete.
Dude, sweet and spicy don't play. That is good.
Man.
Hey, Mike.
I'm all about
I ain't got no
teriyaki.
ostrich.
You're smacking your lips.
Oh, dude, I got a hot venison snack stick.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I got venison.
Dude, that's good.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
This thing is awesome. I didn't know about this.
All right. Any line cutters, open it. Yeah. Get a little line. Here, we'll give you the ring.
Do you want half this venison?
Yeah.
All right.
Mike, stop.
I can't stop.
Please
It's
stop.
too good. All right.
Most excellent.
Pete, we're gonna go ahead and do an MTB unboxing here in a second. But before I do that, I did want to talk. I want to hit one last topic. I reviewed the Ike Live social feeds during the break, and I saw this comment come from so many people watching right now from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and it was all basically the same question. So I'm gonna give it to you guys, and feel free I want you all to answer this. Everybody. They're, I heard, what's your top 3 things, top 3, top 4, top 5? Give me the top 5 things. If there's another club watching right now and they're small, they're trying to grow, they're trying to do the right things, give us the top 5 things they should do to be a successful club.
That's a good one. I mean, professionalism will be one. Running a good event from start to finish. Handing out the proper penalties at the end of the day,
Brian Carpenter can attest to that.
Accountability.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you go to an event, and same thing when I go to one. If it's not one of our events and things aren't run smooth, that's going to make you not want to go back. Right. So doing things right, you want to smooth in the morning, smooth at the weigh-in. You want to put on a good show. You want everything to look like you've done it before, and that's big. It's all. I mean,
have a good scale.
Good scale.
Yeah.
I mean,
scales are important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad to say, but payouts are important. Guys
Payouts.
How do you generate the kind of revenue you guys are putting together?
All right. So basically, so club dues go 100% back to the club. We still do the whole thing with the nation. So right off the top, more than half of our club dues go right into contributing to the nation because we have. They get their cut. We're insured through Bass, so half of our money's going out the door that way. Mm-hmm. Another thing we do with our dues is we when you join the club, you get a club T-shirt, club sweatshirt, and then the rest of it pretty much goes into our party at the end of the year. But during the year, all of our regular tournaments, we basically most of it gets paid out of a $40 entry fee. We take $5 back to the club at every tournament. That pretty much covers our permits for all the year. But really, we hold a ton of open buddy tournaments. That's our number one contributor to earning money for the club is just open buddy tournament after open buddy tournament. We want to fish every weekend, so we're constantly holding up open buddy tournaments, which constantly keeps generating money towards the club. And everything else is paid for at that point. Another thing we started a couple years ago was selling merchandise. Every one of our events, we have sweatshirts for sale, T-shirts for sale, hats, you name it, it's all for sale. We sell 20 wool hats every winter just because people forget their hats when they come to our Winter League events.
Right.
So we generate a lot of money from that. We buy everything in bulk, and we sell product throughout the year. We constantly pushing 50/50s at our meetings. Any event, we're constantly looking for stuff. We run a Super Bowl pool over the winter that usually generates some revenue. The one thing we kind of plateaued with what we make with our $10,000 event, which is great. The one thing that we still are lacking is the sponsorship side of things, because I feel like there is a window, especially for local companies, to jump in and contribute, because we've had local guys in and they come to our meeting and they sell $2,000 worth of product like instantly. Right. But to get, guys don't want to kick in money. They want to give you 10% off and they want to give you this and that.
Right.
But that's the one thing where we are lacking. But open buddy tournaments is the number one thing. And then at the end of the year, our banquet, we put money into it, but we make like $3,000 at our banquet because we have almost 100 people coming through the doors, and we have raffles like you wouldn't believe, and we generate a lot of funds back at our banquet to start us up for the following year.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's all good advice. I mean, that being cash rich like that is awesome. Having those kind of payouts.
Yeah.
What the payout? Who won that this year?
Ryan Gaynor. So
how much? First place.
First place is $5,000.
$5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
Club championship.
Yeah.
$5,000.
Yep.
I
crazy.
got a satin green jacket.
Yeah. It's got to be worth $5,000 now, though,
Well,
isn't it?
I think it might have
on Pawn Stars
depreciated.
I mean, even if you win a mega bucks, it's $2,000.
Whoa.
I've won close to $10,000 this year in club tournaments.
Wow.
Even
that's a lot of smokes, man.
Not anymore.
So Tommy won our Lunker of the Year, which is a $25 optional pool. But we had 70 guys get in it. It's like $1,800 that he's going to win just from catching the biggest fish this year.
Wow.
Plus Mega Strike, what did they give us?
$250 towards
it.
towards Lunker of the Year.
That's awesome.
50%. Hey Tim, what's the club taking? Like a 50% VIC on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's
damn. They try to DQ at least one angler during an event and keep that entry fee.
Right
into the club.
It's key. It's important. Brian Carpenter,
Michael,
you ready to do some shaving, or you ready to doing some inspection on beards? What are we talking about here?
I'm dialing
you want to do? Should we do? You want to do MTB? Let's do the unboxing first, and then we can get to the fun stuff.
I'm calling them right now.
Oh, you don't want to do this unboxing? Is that what you
Go
mean?
for it.
Okay.
Let me say something real
Oh,
quick.
here we go.
We got we got Bass University Live. We're going to be with JT Kenny. JT, we're going to be with him on December 20th, and he's going to try to outperform your 2-hour challenge of one fish in two and a half hours.
In Florida?
In Florida.
I think he'll succeed.
He's got a mile chance.
Are you going down to Florida, Pete?
Yeah, I'm going to be down there with JT. We're going to be doing lots of really cool stuff for Bass University TV.
Very cool.
We're going to be filming some really new style content that we've not shown before. We're going to try to showcase JT in a way that maybe some people haven't seen him before, and we're going to be fishing. We're going to be live. We're going to be doing some great instructional stuff, learning how to fish for Florida bass the way JT does it. So looking forward to doing that. And we got a new forum on Bass University TV, so you guys can go check that out. We just upgraded our site, added that to it. And right now, any new subscribers for Bass U TV, get a Bass University hat.
Oh, very nice.
And a ridiculous Christmas card featuring me and you.
Saw that. Saw that. Scary.
In crazy costumes.
All right, let's do this. We are, Pete, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. We're the only live podcast that opens an...
Let's get that right after this.
Oh, come on, man.
You got to look for the cues.
Bro, I just said I was opening a box.
All right, open the box.
I stole it with Bass University talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. All right, I'm out. You run the show, Bri. I'll just sit and watch. Do I have my wallet?
What's Becky ordering shoes?
I don't know.
Are we going to unbox? Are we going to talk?
What do you want to do, Mike?
Whatever you want to do, bro.
You want to go fishing, E?
I would love to.
Let's take a break.
They're eating right now?
I think they are.
I only have a 20. I only have 20s.
Well, while these guys
Can
figure
anybody
out what
break
they're
a 20?
No. Hey, is your event open this weekend to the public?
Or what's that?
Your banquet?
No.
No.
You guys are all invited, though.
That's awesome.
I mean, what do you want to do?
Thank you.
We'll
Thank you.
hit that right afterwards.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Sorry about that. All right, Mike. I got the guys from Line Cutters on Skype. We just got connected, and I think the audio is right.
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna do line cutters in.
And we're live.
Okay, this is the highlight, Pete, of this show tonight. I've waited in anticipation for this moment. Not just tonight, for a long time. Let me catch everybody up to date. We've been really promoting this amazing contest, Ike Live versus Line Cutters. And this is in conjunction with No Shave November. And let me remind you, every bit of every penny that we've earned in this promotion, this contest, is going to men's health awareness. Big cause, man. You know, so much with cancer. Everybody deals, we all have somebody we know that deals with cancer. We think of women, we think of breast cancer. We forget about men, you know. We've got a very good friend of ours, Dave Mansu, dealt with prostate cancer. A lot of my uncle had cancer. So men's health is a big thing. So this is for a great cause. But this is a really interesting contest, Pete. And this contest revolves around facial hair. No Shave November, facial hair. And we've pitted two of Ike Live members here, Eric the Intern and Brian the Carpenter, against the two key members of Line Cutters right here. We've got them on. And I don't know, man. I was sure, I was absolutely positive after seeing Eric's face that we were shoo-in to win. But I'm looking right now, and I don't know. But let me just introduce him right now. Vance, guys, thank you for joining us. What the heck? Look at that.
ZZ Top.
I mean, last time we talked to you guys wasn't even a month ago. You didn't look like what? How did you have this premier hair growth?
It's right here, Mike.
Pills.
It's a secret. It's what's it called? Performance enhancing.
I don't know. It says it works right on the label.
It says it works. Look,
why didn't we have
right
that?
here.
Wow. I mean, Pete, I've seen you with some beard, but I've never seen it that bushy.
Dude, that's impressive.
Look at that.
There's birds growing in there.
All right, so I've got a good look at you two guys, and Brian the Carpenter and Eric. Let me look at you. Brian's got a little scruff.
All natural.
He's looking very Amish, but his cheeks are clean. All right, wait a minute. That was fake. All right, let's get off all the fake beards.
All right.
Let's get a true tally here. And I want to ask our guests on the casting couch tonight. I'm going to ask the Five Alive guys. Give us a true analysis, guys. You know, you DQ'd Brian last week. You've got great rules here.
I'm screwed.
Look at it. Let's declare a winner. Ike Live or Line Cutters, guys. On the count of three, declare a winner. 1, 2, 3, go.
Line Cutters.
Line Cutters, Pete. Declare a winner.
I have
Line Cutters.
I have one thing to say.
Eric, you got
I have
something to
one
say?
thing to say.
Okay.
I wouldn't trade a blade of the hair I got up here for a full beard. That's all I'm saying. Not a blade, dog. And that's facts. Take that to the bank.
Eric's proud of his coif. You know what I
I'm very
mean?
proud of my coif. It's gotten me quite far.
We'll talk. We'll talk to you again in about 10 years, buddy.
Okay. All right. Now, guys, you are the winner, and so normally in a contest like this, we want to give you the opportunity to have you have a couple minutes. Take it and go ahead and give a winner's speech to this moment. I know it's very exciting for you guys.
Well, it's a very exciting day to be on Team Line Cutters. And when we first got the shipment of the hair, because we sent each other hair samples of what the loser had to eat.
Right.
So
Hold it up higher.
Eric? There's nothing in it.
Eric's bag has no hair in it.
There might be one.
But Brian's hair had some hair in it, and so we were nervous.
Right.
You know, we thought we got to really muster up some serious hair. A, for men's health awareness.
Yes.
But B, because we don't want to eat hair, and secondly, we don't even trust Brian enough to know where his hair was cut from.
Right. There's a good chance that's pubic hair.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And so we would do
That's a
hair
wise
yoga. We took hair performance enhancing hair pills, and we're just proud and happy to A, to support men's health awareness, but
Yes.
really B, because we don't have to eat Brian's mysterious hair.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, this is a win-win for everyone. I think our fans, our viewers, for Pete and I, this is a win because we're getting to support men's health awareness, and we get to watch these guys tonight. They're going to have to eat it.
Yes.
We're going to watch these guys eat. Now, Brian the Carpenter, show us. We want a close-up. You have samples from the line cutters guys. Let's see their hair samples. I know you had it in a bag as well, but I think you dumped it on a plate, or you still have it in a bag?
Give me that plate.
Let's see. Let me take a look at this hair. And it was pretty gnarly when I looked at it. We're going to put it on a white plate to get a little bit better. Let's see. There it goes. It's, oh, my God! Look at that! Ah! Look at that! Oh, God.
Tim, are there any rules? Can they can put it in food or drink?
Yeah,
or do they just got to eat it outright?
He's got 2 minutes to eat it.
We're going to give him a full 2 minutes
right,
to
hold on.
consume the hair.
Here we got options.
Okay, what are the options?
I got some Baby Bell mozzarella cheese out there. we got
Mozzarella.
some
Butter soup.
some Triscuits.
Oh my gosh! I don't think I would.
I don't want to put it in my beer because I want to wash it down with my beer.
I would
going
honestly,
in my beer.
dude. It's
and
like
I've got fish.
now. You know what? To me, it's like pulling a Band-Aid. I'd want to eat it quick and
done.
Wash it down. You want to rip it quick, bro.
Oh, you go for it? Oh, hold on.
Here it
Got live
goes.
action. Wait. Let me get live.
Here it goes.
Mike,
This is the moment we've all been
when
waiting
my review for Pro Edge is up, remember this moment.
I will remember it. Dude, this is for men's. Oh! Oh, God! Oh, there it
Just
goes.
like that.
It's over.
It's over. And not
You're
that
up,
bad,
buddy.
right? No. All right. Eric just went down easy.
Oh, he's walking.
Oh.
He's walking.
Oh, no! He ran out of the room quick. I don't know what that means.
There we go.
All right, Brian's portion. Brian's going to wash that. Looks like he's got vodka tonic there.
Oh, my God!
Oh, no,
He
that's
did
good.
it.
Oh, good.
He did
Oh,
it.
good. Come on, swallow it.
come on.
Swallow it.
Oh!
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That sucked.
Now here's the thing, Brian. As I know it's hard. It's hard to stomach. I see your eyes watering right now. But once again, man, you gotta feel good about this. This is for men's health awareness. This is No Shame November in conjunction with Line Cutters. Congratulations, Brian and Eric, for stomaching that. I'm very proud of you guys.
There's no way the inventors of this great idea thought some retards would be drinking beard hair with beer. You know what I mean? Like, what happened?
I know what went down here. Everybody knows what went down. You know, Vance and Cullen, they stacked the deck.
Yes.
Picked on the two weakest members as far as hair growth goes. And Dave, you can attest. I get even.
Oh, we
So-
might have another challenge coming up.
Well, either that or shit'll just happen when I see you at the classic.
At the Line Cutters Classic Party, you might expect something.
Can we just again reflect upon what we've done to each other over the years?
Oh, gosh.
There was Dave's giant big toenail that came off.
Wait.
The full thing came off from an injury,
Yeah.
and that made its round around everybody's drinks for about 2 years. Thanks. Dave. What else? What else?
You slipped a goldfish into my beer.
Now,
Yep.
we had a denture that we found at an Ozfest that wound up in our drinks for years, like an upper denture.
And the what real? Oh, and at your bachelor party, I put a slug in your Corona.
Oh yeah. Oh, my God.
But what really ended it all was it was my turn to pay Dave back, and I put my sons. You know how when the babies are freshly born in the baby book with all the pictures, there's also the dried up navel.
Umbilical cord.
Cord. Put Luke's umbilical cord in Dave's beer.
Yeah.
but I told him it was his foreskin.
Yeah. I know.
So you guys may have won tonight. But.
Yeah. So line cutter guys, that's what you're up against, man. Like he's like a calculated VC, dude.
I'll see you at the class.
Open up Pandora's box right there.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Colin, I'll be seeing you soon, bud. I'm coming for
Here
you,
we go.
bud.
Hey, I'm impressed. What happened to E? Did you have to release it?
No, there was pieces stuck in my throat, which alarmed me, so I had to deal with that.
They were great. They were this guy's.
Hey,
Microfibers. Microfibers in
man.
the throat.
I'm impressed.
Great
guys.
job, guys.
Yeah.
Perverting a charity.
Yes.
You took your medicine.
Now, hey, Brian.
Yes, sir.
We still got. Remember, we got the big contest, the $300.
Yes, we do.
Giveaway for the craziest facial hair still going on. So anybody watching right now,
that's right.
The crazy, send us your selfies or get somebody to take a picture. We still have the $300 prize pack giveaway for the craziest facial hair, and we're drawing that. We're gonna pick the four finalists on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. So from everybody that's sent it in for the entire month, and from here until Thursday, we're gonna close it at noon on Thursday. We're going to pick, you guys pick two, your favorite two. We're going to pick our favorite two. And then we're going to post that on Thursday at noon. Friday, the fan voting will announce who's the winner of that $300 prize pack.
So send us your picks. Craziest facial hair. Again, it's all about men's health awareness, but let's have some fun with it. We've seen some insanely awesome pictures. So
Yes.
it's a chance to win a cool prize pack and look super awesome.
We each pick two, right?
Yeah, we each pick two.
Right. You guys pick your two, we pick our two, and then we let the fans vote on the winner.
Yes.
I like it.
I like it. Congratulations,
Hey.
guys. I'm proud of you for winning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And hey, Mike, we got one question.
Hit me.
All right. Is it true? Now, I'm not going to tell you where Colin and I heard this information from, but is it true when you were filming Fish My City on Nat Geo Wild, is it true that halfway through the filming each day, you had to stop and shave? Because we heard you can grow a mean beard, like it grows daily.
Yeah, I honestly, that halfway through the day is a little extreme, but I did have to shave probably every other day. No, seriously. Yeah. Wow. Seriously, every other day I did. Yeah, to keep the 5 o'clock shadow down. And then in warm, moist climates, it tends to grow quicker. So I don't know if you knew that. It's actually true. There's something to that. Yeah. So in Taiwan, I look like Grizzly Adams after a day and a half. You know. Hey, there's something special to have had a beard or a mustache since I was 15. You know, it's a good feeling, man.
That's true.
Pedro for president.
I still don't have one.
Are you gonna shave it now?
I think I might rock a
Leave it, man.
a foo for a day or two.
This one.
Yeah,
You can pull that off. You can pull
I
that
might
off.
do a Fu Manchu
Derek
for a
gonna
couple
shave?
days.
I think you ought to like braid some line cutters
I
in your
used
beard
to
and
have-
enter the contest.
I used to have a long one with some rubber bands in it and dyed and shit back in the day. Okay. Back when I was,
Rubber bands.
Back when I was running out there. Know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what's happening, Dan? What you guys got cooking over there?
Well, we just dropped our new website, which I got to give mad props to my brother Colin. He worked his tail off on it, and it's anytime you're launching a big deal, a website, it's a big deal, especially nowadays with so much business coming in, to your website. So that's a big deal. And then we're leaving literally in about 7 hours for a 21-hour drive to ice fish in Minnesota.
Wow.
On Lake Mille Lacs.
Whoa.
So
Good
21-hour
lake.
drive. We got last minute. We're doing a line cutters get together. We love our fishing team.
Right.
We love our fans and friends and all that. So we got invited, and they're like, let's make it a line cutters event. We're leaving in like 7 hours.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
going
Wow.
from South Houston to Mille Lacs, Minnesota. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man.
Yes.
Good for you guys.
Mille Lacs is a great lake. You'll be catching walleye through the ice.
Smallmouth.
Smallmouth, potentially smallmouth.
I'm hoping for a muskie.
Muskie, perch.
I'm hoping. I
Yeah.
can only hope.
That's
Now,
right.
if you catch a burbot, you got to eat it. You know, that's the poor man's lobster up there.
Is a burbot an eel pout? Is
It's
that
an
the
eel
same
pout.
thing?
Same thing.
Eel
yeah.
pout snout.
Is it?
Now.
Yeah, it's poor man's lobster. Tastes great, man. On a sandwich, anything.
Put mustard on it.
Hey, if we catch one, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, if we catch one, we will tag you, Mike. We will literally cook it up and eat it and tag you.
I want to see. I want to see that, man. I wish you guys luck up there. It's going to be cold, but the fishing should be good.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Awesome, man.
All right.
I love it.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate you making me eat my European hair. That will not soon be forgot.
No, they're going to remember by the guys. You don't know what you just started with him. All right. Yeah. Look at that laugh. Exactly.
I'm ready. I'll be seeing you soon, guys. All right, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
And
good luck in Minnesota.
All right, good night, you guys. Good seeing you.
Good night, guys.
I got heartburn.
All right. Hey, Mike, on the IM board, at TJ Fishing 22 said, I think my Movember mustache has limited me to 1,000 feet from a school.
They win. They win something. If you posted that, give us your address. We'll send you something. All right, Pete, we're going to do the mystery tackle box unboxing.
Let's unbox them.
Let's do it right now. You know how we do it. I just broke the seal there with this amazing corkscrew thing. I'm going to take a bait. I'm going to pass it to you. And since we've got the Five Alive guys on the couch, we're going to let all these guys pick out a bait, and we'll analyze it and say what we're talking about here, okay? I'm going to go in here. Let me see here. I got a couple nice little baits here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, man, that looks good. I'm going with that one. All right. Pete, pull out this little lure here. This is by Catchco, and this is a little jerk bait. I want you to look at this right now. I picked this, tell you why. Right now, up here, Pete, in the Northeast, things are cold. The water temperature's getting cold. I got to let you know that on Sunday, the tournament that Eric and I fished, we won on a very little jerk bait, just like that.
Awesome.
So, really cool little finesse jerk bait in a really nice translucent color. Pete, what do you got?
Well, I got another cold water bait. I fished the Five Alive Delaware River tournament just a couple weeks ago. Caught all our fish on lipless baits.
Lipless.
And this is a lunker hunt lipless.
Lunker hunt. Nice.
Good color.
Wow.
Might have to try that one.
Okay, let me see that thing. I might pull that out of the pack.
What do you guys got?
Guys, what do you got on the couch over there?
So I got a net bait baby action cat, which is pretty funny. When I first started fishing, it was basically this exact same bait, but I used to fish a Venom hollow hog, which is exactly this. It's kind of like a brush hog type bait. That was like the only thing I threw my first year tournament fishing. Caught a ton of fish. I still use this bait on the Potomac River all the time.
Throw me that net bait.
It's a good bait. You can put a little rattle in it too.
Look at that. It does look like a little bit like a brush hog. It's hollow.
Yeah, so I usually put a little bead rattle in the middle of it.
Yep.
Wow.
Killer little bait.
Little bluegill imitation, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
What is that? Okeechobee crawl?
Okeechobee crawl. Yeah. That's what it is.
What do you got?
I got the KVD Rodent.
Rodent! Kevin Van Dam style.
Great flipping bait. Grass, wood. That's all you need.
Nice. I like those baits. Those baits have an amazing tail action. That is sweet. It's it's short, but it's got a high profile.
It reminds me of the mega bass. It reminds me of the mega bass bait, the trick darter.
Who makes that bait?
Catchco.
Oh, it's a Catchco bait.
It's called the hunch, because of the hunchback.
Looks like it. Short, but yet a little bit bigger profile than some of the other smaller jerk
Very
baits.
Cool. Very
Sweet. We haven't got ours yet, or usually before we have an unboxing, I get my mystery tackle box at home.
I'm waiting for it any day. Is Jake very eager?
I gotta hide it from him. You know,
you have to hide the box from him.
Yeah, it's like me and you. We took the good crankbaits. We left them with the small plastic.
Does Jake take the hard baits all the time?
Every time. Same thing happens at my
There's
house.
something about a hard bait though. It's like more collectible. You want to
shiny.
Yeah.
Pete's holding them baits real tight over there. Look at him.
I know. Give it back. You talked it up, and now he's not. Yeah, but look, he threw the pack back, but it's empty. He's got them all shoved down his pants. Get a close up right there. Look at that. See him? See that bulge right there?
There's nothing there.
Oh man. Last but not least, I would like to do the TH product of the month, Pete, and we mentioned it before. This happens to be trolling motor month at TH, and I get a lot of comments about this little TH product right here. I want you to take a look at that thing. This is the G-Force Eliminator nut. And Pete, I'm going to give you the 3 main features of this thing, and I've been using it for about 4 years now. And you take the factory nut off of your prop, and you spin this thing on. It's going to do 3 things. First thing it's going to do is easy access to that prop. How many times in a tournament, Pete, have you lost the blade, right? Yep. Blade seared off, and then you got to get out a toolkit and you got to fiddle with it. This thing you can crank off by your hand. Second thing does it eliminates that vibration, especially you'll find that speed, right? You know, it's generally not real low or not real high. It's somewhere in the middle where you'll have that vibration. It dampens that vibration, right? Stops that vibration. The last thing it's going to do is this is like a heat sink for the tip of that prop, right? It absorbs all that heat and less heat on the prop. You know what that means, Pete? Longer trolling motor life. That's the G-Force Eliminator nut from TH Marine. That's your product of the month right there, Pete.
You forgot number 4. It looks really cool.
And it looks cool.
High tech, man.
Yeah, look at that. Madonna wore 'em at her concert back in the day. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's that wasn't what I was thinking, but I I see where you're going.
That's right.
Have you had any experience, speaking of trolling motors? I use the Ultrax.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Madonna.
Have you?
Madonna.
Any experience with Madonna? No. The Ultrax, I like. Everybody loves that motor.
Yeah.
But
Ultrax.
We had some guys talking about it on the Bashu forum.
Yeah.
Not the Ultrax, but there's another model that has auto deploy for the Minn Kota.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have
I've
you seen
seen 'em.
any guys using that out on tour?
I've seen no guys using them on tour. I've seen saltwater guys using them. I've seen big water, the big walleye style boats using them, but no guys are on tour using those at all.
I wonder why. It operates very similar to the Ultrax.
I don't know. It's a good question.
But I was remembering in the old days when they had the auto deploy.
Oh yeah.
Another brand had it, and
yeah, you could hit it at the console.
Yeah.
You hit it,
and then you run up there, it's down.
Yeah. It's,
yeah. And then we get stuck in the down position.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of problems with that thing. I had it on one of my boats.
Did you?
Yeah.
We all had to learn. I did too. We all had to learn how to get the release going, so you could get it up and get it down.
Exactly right. There were too many problems with it. When it was working, it was the best thing.
Yeah.
But when it didn't work, which was most of the time,
Jimmy Houston was the first one I ever seen had it. I thought he was coming in from outer space, man. He come down next to me, off pad, and hit the button. That sucker deployed. That was pretty cool.
The guys using that have all the flabby arms because they don't pull it up 1,000 times, a day.
Yep.
No muscles. Hi. What do we got?
Huh?
Are we doing anything else?
Oh, yeah, we're.
Did I lose his audio? Did he
I
turn his
can't.
mic
I
off?
can't hear.
Oh, I turned the wrong microphone on. Sorry, we were working on something back here, and
he's got a fur ball in his stomach. You gotta give him a little.
Come on, I do. I got a hairball in my throat and my eye. Crop that. Okay. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Tommy left. He's dealing with something. But yeah, dude. 5 Alive. And beard hair. What else you got, Mike?
I don't have nothing.
All right, here we go.
Well, thanks for coming, 5 Alive. Somebody's got to break this shit up. Jesus. Brian and Mike are going to arm wrestle after.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Maybe I'll go live. Maybe I'll do it live right here on the table.
I'm good.
We appreciate you guys having us on and coming to our events. I know Mike's been to a bunch of our events. It's funny when you online all the time, you're constantly seeing people like, why is he allowed at your event, or why and you see it all the time. But we welcome you guys all the time. We love we love the competition. We love
Yeah.
guys
By the way, for all the haters out there that have said that, I think I've probably fished. I'm gonna go ahead and say 10. Let's say in the last four years or so. I think I've only won 1 out of the 10, and all the rest of the time you guys beat my ass. So
I donated on the one that I fished on the Delaware.
It's okay though. I love it. You know?
I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys don't mind. I mean, I really like fishing with you guys. I used to always fish one federation tournament a year. I did that for like the first 15 years of my career.
Yeah.
Just to stay connected, with everybody that I grew up fishing with, and I felt like that when I was fishing with you guys. I appreciate you putting that tournament on and letting us all participate.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are always welcome. Yep. We get new guys in our club all the time, and I mentor a lot of new guys. I try to help them out along the way, and they're always throwing names at you. Like, this guy's going to be there, and that guy's going to be there. And I'm like, no matter who's going to be at any tournament, you got to catch the fish. And that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if Mike shows up or this guy shows up, anyone shows up. If you don't come in at the bag at the end of the day, and if you don't come in on time, you're not going to win the tournament. I mean, it's pretty simple.
And I probably would have won the Delaware River tournament if you didn't cut me off everywhere I was trying to
Hey, we got an IM question for Five Alive. Tim, Mike Kukaris wants to know, is it true that you once had to disqualify Iaconelli for making his Uncle Don weigh in 5 10-inch bass?
Mike did.
That's not true.
Mike did send Uncle Don up with one. I think that was like 8.5 inches.
I remember that.
That's keeper size, isn't it? 8.5.
Well, hey, and speaking of DQs, but you didn't come up to. We had a Mirror Lake tournament maybe 5 years ago, and I think you fished with Chris Alfonso.
Yeah.
And you guys had trolling motor issues.
Yeah, we started the outboard.
So Chris comes up to the scales, and he's like, "Oh, we only got 4." I'm like, Chris, I'm not going to be able to let you guys weigh in. You came in on your outboard.
You came in on pad, dude.
It was funny, though, that same tournament, Eric Woodward signed up with you guys.
Really?
As a solo, and he never came in to weigh in. Because I remember, like, we hung around and just bullshit with you guys for a while, and it was like an hour, and he still was out there fishing by himself. He signed up for the tournament, but then never weighed in.
Yeah.
That was the last time I saw Woody. I never saw him again after that.
He's still out there.
He may be.
He likes fishing out there in the middle of nowhere. I remember he came to a couple of Manasquan events, and everybody's on the dam catching fish left and right, and you see Woody out there like 37 feet of water, like, oh, he's got to be killing them. And he come in with nothing. Like, what is he doing out there?
He's eliminating water.
Must be. He's a strange cat, man. He's a strange cat. Let me thank everybody for watching tonight. I had a great time, man. A lot of reminiscing. Awesome talking about club fishing, grassroots fishing. Did you guys have it figured out, man? I hope people watch tonight. They can take a couple cues from you, and I want to see club fishing grow. It's really the backbone of the sport, in my opinion. So
I think you guys that aren't participating in it, you need to take a look at the clubs, man. I really had a great time. I learned a lot. I know you did too.
Yes.
And shout out to Bob Gilo. I remembered his name, the president of Garden State Bassmasters. No longer with us, but shout out to his family.
Shout out to Bob. Also, thank you to Bill Taylor for calling in, clarifying the rule. Shout out to the line cutters guys. Congratulations on your big win.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, Eric, Dave. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And look forward to next Ike Live, Pete. I don't know, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe
December
next week.
5th?
Yeah, December 5th. And then, of course, our Christmas special, Pete, December
18th.
It's going to be a great show. We're going to have a lot of fun on that one. A lot of cheer, giving away gifts and stuff.
We're going to have some cheer?
We're going to have cheer. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a holiday special. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope you had a good time tonight. And we'll see you in the next one. Good night, everybody.